No.
Teeth.
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 There we go.
Yep.
Tooth. Toothes.
Anyhow, before last time, I think we left off with the mysterious voice saying something about when true enemies make peace and great things happening. Esther responded to the voice as she recognized it from when she died, asks who it is, but voice dodges that little question and just says enemies who learned the proper course, which is interesting. It seemed to refer to itself in plural form the entire time, with enemies and just constantly saying we and so on and so forth. Anyhow, they took psionic power for survival. Born with power does not equal deserving it, and apparently they made those psionic powers and were taking them back. You have to reach them to deserve that power. That was a whole interesting circular conversation. Anyhow, some of us are missing various memories. Ashta's got this weird memory surplus that's celestial in nature and just kind of increases as time goes on, it seems. Yema's memories are, of course, on hold, as per some sort of deal made. And Xenia's got little gaps due to, like, the body switch thing. Anyhow.
Also, we found this out because Senior called up the Raven Queen again.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, little conversations here and there. The burial chamber now carries Raven Queen energy, and Monarch's not super happy about that, because Raven Queen energy plus burial chamber might not be the best combination, but we can't say for sure. Either way, it's something that shouldn't have been messed with. Yes. Yema's god might be able to cleanse the area, perhaps, but seeing as Yema's player isn't here for a couple weeks, we might have some time before we find out about that for sure. Monarch and Ashta kind of talk about ways to get the Ix out. Monarch could force the Ix to latch onto Ashta's Fane and bind both into this bone artifact called a Tornok to contain them. There was also brought out that obsidian shard from that first dragon, the bronze, I think, one that was mistaken for a red. Apparently it's like antithesis to the white fire of the Firebirds, dangerous. White fire can be absorbed by a person and it kind of strengthens them mentally. As for the onyx, the obsidian shard, it might be the Monarch might be able to purify it, but with risk. And so if that's possible, I think I got the impression it might be another avenue for fixing this Ix problem. It was kind of vague.
Because apparently it could convert the Ix to Fane.
Yeah.
Because it does the thing that the arrow simply did to the dragon before, where it probably turned its Fane to Ix, or just kind of gave it some.
Okay. So we've got a couple possible avenues. Maybe not perfect, but possible. Esther is going to try to learn meditation to travel to and visit the astral plane a little bit more at will. Aquarius mentions a castle bigger than this one in the plane of air where her master lives. It is the final place of law, realm of Aka. Aaqa.
It is pronounced Aqua, but...
Oh, okay. Anyhow, Aquarius was kind of chosen for the role there. She does not currently think peace is possible, which is a shame, because I thought we were making some kind of progress. Sagittarius is looking for her, contacted her via magic at some point. Esther promises to help her get back home if opportunity arises, and stayed with Aquarius overnight. Ashta is not happy. But then there's also a message that came to Caius, saying the Goblinoid army is being attacked. He's needed, or he'll be executed for dereliction of duty. We weren't really given a time frame or a deadline on that deadline, but that's probably something we should head towards sooner rather than later, so much for certain other plans, I guess. Anyway, the area down south is the realm of Sagittarius correspondingly, so chances are good that's gonna be our problem there.
Wonderful.
We found out that the crystal downstairs moves the castle. Rosalind kind of woke it up. We all piled magical power into it, and now everybody in the party has a role to drive it, but Rosalind is the primary, just in case we start putting in, like, conflicting commands or something like that and make it confused and make it need an override. Xenu took another dragon apart. We found the dragon hoard. It's in the fountain pool of that sanctuary room, unlocked the door, jumped down and found a large angry man with a sword frozen in a large crystal. That was done while the ship was in stasis, so the crystal could not answer our questions about it. Picked up a few magic items down there. We started driving the castle south. It moved really fast. And Rayla conned us out of one of those fire giant strength belts in exchange for what is probably 2 lies as to the answer to the question what is Ashta's birthday. She said the last of this month, and then she said the first of this month, which would have been the day before. So we're kind of guesstimating maybe doing something in, like, the middle of the month, which turns out is just about this world's version of Valentine's Day. So, yeah, we learned a little bit of lore about that. Ashta has run off due to tickle fights. I assume that Esther and Rosalind have not gotten, like, armor and, in Esther's case, clothes back on after jumping through the pond into the treasure hoard.
Nope.
But we've pretty much pulled everything up. I think Xenia was just wrapping up the dragon corpse disassembly. I am not quite sure where Caius is. John's gone. Now he's back. And that's where we left off.
Yes.
Yep.
Underwear. She went swimming. Okay.
Yeah, Esther is not completely bare. She was covered. Now, for a brief
And by
moment,
underwear
Essence,
as
on the
in-
other hand.
Essence was in the news.
Yep, that was a moment.
Alright, so I believe it is in the last leg of the journey towards the castle.
Yeah.
So, what are you guys doing in the last hour or so before you reach there?
Rosalind's gonna send Thorn ahead and try to just, like, she just, like, takes enough time to pull her boots on, leaves everything else there, and just tries to take off after Ashta in order to call truce.
Alright.
Every so often, Thorn's
Yeah.
flying ahead in circles and just kind of doing the mental broadcast towards Ashta if he's within 100 feet of just the word truce, with a question mark tacked on.
Ashton, you're aware of your own speed. Would Thorn have caught up to you at any point?
Thorn has a 60-foot fly speed, but, I don't know. He can do a 120 in a round if he dashes every time. I can't hear you. Drat, hold on.
Here.
I'm back. Okay, I couldn't hear you.
Hello, hello.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I'm pretty sure Ashta's faster.
Fair.
But I don't know how far he would actually go from the main area either.
If it helps at all, Rosalind will send Thorn kind of towards those great big, like, cask things that Ashta kind of hit on top of when we were first attacking this place, that stairwell. If that doesn't work, then she's just gonna start, like, combing the area and then heading upwards.
Wait, so they're currently under the
Yeah, they're in the
in
basement.
the basement right now? Okay.
They were in that central, like, crystal chamber room where we first encountered the big X-Dragon.
Alright. Just have my own personal curiosity. Yeah,
probably.
Give me either an advantage perception or investigation for Rosalind and Thorn searching.
But
Honestly, Thorn
he'd
cannot
probably
find
be, yeah, on that. And also he'd probably be near those casks areas, so he'd probably get the Thorn ping.
that. Yeah. Thorn
Oh.
might not see you, but you hear him.
Yeah, and Thorn gets the response back of, I don't believe it.
Alright. Thorn will pause there, because obviously he's within telepathy range, so good enough for now, and, I'm just gonna ping back and forth through Thorn. Just, it's not just, it's typically not words, in fact, it's ideas and emotions, and you kind of get the emotion of, like, cross my heart.
There's a good, 10 seconds, and he walks out from behind one, somewhat wild look in his eyes.
A feral beast.
I suppose we might owe you an apology. But no, we're not going to jump you again. At least not for this. See? I'm alone. Just me and Thorn. And she's, nowhere near him.
It's why stop now, then? Seem pretty insistent the last minutes.
Well, Rayla gave us a little bit of what I think is a run around, but good enough.
And he, swears to him, Rayla, of course.
If it helps, unless your birthday is the last of this month or the first, she lied twice, in which case we should probably get that belt back off of her for breaking her word.
She's a fae.
Promises are still promises.
Alright. I'm going for a walk. Away from that group. I trust you. I don't trust the fire mom.
Well?
He just starts walking up the stairs.
I like
Do you mind if I follow along, then?
Alright, but I'm not letting my guard down.
I'll go nowhere near you, promise.
I didn't. He starts walking.
I had a thought. The other night, seemed to have accessed some new magic, and, well, we're going to have to, if not fill this place, at the very least get it to a state where it can, well, support us, everybody else who would be here.
Kind of nods.
A lot of people lost their homes and livelihoods with Peduncle. I know it's been a while, people will have settled since then, but others might not have. I could actually contact my father tonight while he sleeps using a dream spell. And we can see if anybody in Anther, or anybody he knows of in surrounding areas, might not be fully settled and might be interested in this as an opportunity. Wide open lands, probably, well, for all I know, it could be good farmland or maybe good pasture.
You can send a message to anyone you please.
Within restrictions. They need to be asleep.
But
and
past that?
If it's someone who cannot sleep, then it won't work, but yes.
Could you send one to my uncle?
I could.
Considering there's a guy running around with my face.
Oh.
And my thoughts.
Oh. Yes.
Fuck.
Is there anybody other than your uncle you would want to warn about this?
Well,
I mean, my spell slots are limited, but I can do something.
I don't know where, so he wouldn't.
Would you like to give him this message yourself? I can...
Turns. What do you mean?
The spell isn't like a more immediate spell where you just send off a message as if through Feign, but to anyone, and they respond, and back and forth. It's longer lasting, and I can send somebody else into the trance as a messenger.
Into someone's dreams?
Well, yes. I haven't actually used it yet, but my, general understanding is that I cast the spell, and whether it's myself or one other, they can go into that person's dreams as long as they're asleep, or just wait in the trance for them to fall asleep, and, well, impart whatever message needs to be given. You've got up to a full 8 hours to do it, though I'm not sure if you actually get any rest doing so or not. I haven't really, as I said, I haven't
But yeah,
used it.
out of character, Conrad. Is someone in the dream trance, like, is that kind of like sleep for them? Is it like, do they benefit from a long rest and not have to worry about that exhaustion thing? Do they get the kind of like a sleep time for like, would they get the kind of sleep time for, like, say the toxin and things like that?
I don't see him typing it. Is he typing?
I don't see him typing. He's not talking. You're muted right now, in case you don't know.
I suspect he knows. He's
Oh,
typing.
there he goes.
She said one moment. Okay.
Yeah, it was just a little bit ago, and then he said something else. And
Sorry, I just had to use the bathroom real quick. Sorry, what was the question?
Is someone in the trance that dream brings about? Do they benefit from sleep? Are they in
No, they're
of
in a
exhaustion?
trance there. Yeah, they're in a trance. I could probably count it as a short rest, but I wouldn't count it as a long rest.
Okay, how come?
They're resting and relaxing, but if they stay for the full 8 hours, at no point are they asleep. They're just waiting.
Okay.
Again, the spell could take 10 minutes though.
Yep. All right.
And Rosalind would probably be able to note, since it's in the spell text, that if Ash is the one in the trance, he doesn't have to rely on her to bring him out of it. He can just call it off any point.
Okay.
So he might be kind of under the spell in a side capacity, but he's in control of it from that point as well.
Okay.
Yeah, this magic is stemming from Rosalind, but
Yeah, and she doesn't
you're
have
in
to
control.
concentrate on it, so they can both do
Yep.
their dream messages at pretty much the same time.
Okay. I'll just kind of nod. It's like, I guess
Oh, Jesus.
probably take it better from me about talking about me. That makes sense.
It does. I barely met him just the once. You've known him all your life.
Yeah. Thanks. I guess
Of course.
with that whatever running around it. That's a real
Half-breed.
good. That's a real good. You're not there. That's a real good opening. Yeah, and he just kind of shakes his head. But yes, what you were saying before, bringing people onto here.
Yes, if it's possible and if it's feasible. We can probably ask the prince in the Citadel, about the same sort of thing.
And
See if any of our volunteer squads would like to move in more permanently, bring trade or families. I think first priority would be food and shelter.
yeah, believe it or not, I have a concern.
Of course, you always do. Let's have it.
We should be careful with who we bring on.
All right.
You saw how well someone was sent to look exactly like you. Being a standard farmhand or a farmhand's wife isn't. It's much easier. We're not exactly incognito at this point anymore. We've got a giant thing flying through the sky.
Perhaps so, but at the same time, how much time and energy can we really put into vetting and testing every single person who might come to make a
Quick
life?
interview.
I don't know that we're going to have the time personally to attend to that.
Then we get someone who does. Someone we trust.
can trust? Huh. All right, you are the one who, I think thinks the most about that. Who would you suggest?
And kind of like looks up and just. I mean, I don't. In terms of just trustworthy, I don't know much about her and what she'd want, but your old, side hand guard,
Really? Issa?
Issa, yeah.
Oh.
I mean, she knew you before all of this.
Yes. I consider her trustworthy. I consider her a very dear friend.
She's fairly, does she have any ties to Anther, specifically?
Yenben, but he would come with her.
Yeah, but
Anything. Conrad, question. I did not flesh out Issa's backstory per se. Does she have a lot of family or anything like that in Anther?
She has some family. More of the connection she has is towards, obviously, her father in the court there.
Okay. So basically, it's a possibility
But-
that she might be willing to come on
yeah.
board.
Yep.
Well, I can ask my father to pass along the question during the dream message. We'd have to wait until I contacted him again to get an answer on that front, but yes, I could try.
are you... Is that a recommendation from the GM there?
No, it's not a recommendation. He's correcting spelling in the chat.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, and it was up earlier.
Yes.
Well
Guy
then,
was saying
I guess
Orzer.
to that then, I shall bring up. I doubt Orzer would be up for anything. He likes his own town,
He's very attached and rooted.
and I doubt his next door neighbor would want to be going anywhere, doing anything either.
Probably not. We can always ask Orzer if he has any recommendations, though.
That
Far more quickly because of the fame connection. Oh, that reminds me, we should probably tell the prince that we're on our way and we'll be there shortly. One moment, and she's just going to
Better you.
concentrate very briefly, send Fane out to Prince Ronir, and just pretty much that message, and can he let the Archdruid know as well?
that's
We're
good.
coming.
That's just good. Make sure you mentioned the giant castle island.
I think that much is implied.
I just make sure.
Alright, she'll specify.
Alright, so what precisely are you telling him?
Does it need precision? We're on
It's
our
just,
way.
I didn't quite
Okay.
hear what you were sending him exactly.
On our
Suck
way back.
fucker, we've got a
Yes.
castle.
Not those words, thank you, but that sentiment, kind of.
Alright.
On our way, we'll
Knock,
be there
knock, knock,
shortly.
what's up?
Have castle. Look up.
Look up.
Might need a favor later.
Alright.
Gotta need parking.
Might need transport on and off for squads.
Do you have a parking pass?
What's the door code?
So how much is parking in the Citadel?
Oh my god.
Costs
Is
an hour
carpooling allowed?
Hey, we're not parking in the Citadel, we're parking on the neighboring mountain. I'm not sure that they've got meters there.
Look, we just need like a post in the ground and like a really long rope.
And one dude with really buff arms.
Okay, yes.
My Caius is here now. He has a belt.
We'll hit. We
Yeah.
have one in the. We have one in the block of ice.
True.
And
You can also.
Oh, fuck.
No, I got it. You'll bring everyone to that door, and the door will launch everyone up.
No.
Yes.
We'll shoot
That
everyone
sounds so-
out of a cannon and onto the castle.
I want to fly.
I'm sorry, but this is... Oh my god.
Worry about it later.
Yeah.
We're
Alright.
coming in with a disturbingly large
We're in that
mass of
bridge
land
when we
in the
get-
sky.
Yes.
Hi, we're
Oh.
home.
Knock, knock, knock. Listen, please, we're gonna crash.
Hello, Sam. Oh!
Anyways,
Anyway,
You get the response of, "Oh well, I've told the Archdruid. How big are you talking? Did you bring the whole castle?"
How big is it?
Rosalind just sends back whole island about 30 miles, and just this visual mental impression of the sheer size and scale of it, as she says.
and a shrug.
Yeah, and a shrug.
I want to see a comic of just how big is it. Rosalind sends image of a castle. Oh.
About yay big? Oh no.
We caught an island this big.
You get the response of, ah. Well,
It's at least 2 feet tall.
It's not gonna fit.
I, gotta say, that was expedient. How do you propose to bring people atop?
We don't
And the
exactly
answer there
last
is,
long.
we were hoping you might have a potential solution in mind, or the Archdruid. We'll search around in case there is some apparatus, but we haven't found anything yet.
Do you
I'll
Translation,
take
have
back
that's a
jam
good-
on that.
Translation, that's a good fucking question.
Yep, and she'll turn then to Ashta and say, could you in the meantime just ask the castle? I know that sounds odd, I'm aware. Can you just ask the castle if there are any
That's the
means...
crystal in the castle.
Either or?
Okay.
If there are means of conveying people, especially large groups of people, from castle to surface of the land and vice versa.
We have a ramp.
Ashton just like
That's not a
Thing.
ramp, it's a bridge.
Ashton just like thinks to himself, "Hello, island castle."
Hello.
Ugh.
So, bitch.
Do you have the capability to transport people without flight onto and off of the island onto ground level?
You get a sort of... If a rock can sound confused, you get it. It basically gets you of... irresponsive. Is assistant driver unable to fly?
No, just more than the drivers.
No
Other
apparatus,
passengers.
no apparatus available.
God damn it, we got a castle belonging to giants apparently who had a fly speed.
It belonged. The only things that ever belonged to were castle giants that could fly, dragons, and firebirds.
Yep. Of course.
And assumingly any other giants who couldn't fly could tank the damage.
Basically. Or be lifted by the giants that could fly, because those are the biggest ones.
Yeah, okay, well,
Fuck.
there
Maybe the
Actually-
fire.
I was about to say, okay, what about... This sounds terrible. What about bird-based transport?
they're not that big. Aside
I
from
know,
Monarch,
but if there's a...
I don't think they ever had to transport anybody.
But
That's a
also,
reminder, you know they can teleport.
and also,
Bloody
20,000 flies can lift my corpse into the sky, then I think a couple of those birds can do a pretty decent job.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna forget you just
Can
said
we
that.
say- Can DM intervention there be sudden epiphany breaking in somebody's brain because nobody else is here to tell Rosalind and Ashta this?
I mean, roll intelligence check.
Sure.
Can Ash have advantage because teleporting?
No, this is purely on what you've seen the firebirds do.
14.
Is that not perception?
No, it's an intelligence check. I just said that.
13.
Yeah, you both have been teleported and have seen the birds teleport,
Yeah.
as well as had the monarch mention to you that they can do it.
Alright, there's an oh wait moment and then another quick feign message to...
And they both look at each other and like, teleporting birds, right?
Uh-huh. Exactly.
Of course.
Quick
That's
feign
it.
message to Prince Ronir
It's common
and
sense.
just let him know there are
There's not much of that here.
There are other residents of this castle, friendly, non-aggressive, with teleportation magic that they can bring people along with.
Ash goes, also feathers.
There are roommates.
They can fly.
You can.
Sky, you are not here right now.
Well, Esther isn't here. Sky is,
Yes,
Sky
I
is
am.
the peanut gallery right now.
Very much.
as she always is.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, you get a response
Wow.
from here that's more along the lines of, what have you two done in the past 3 days?
Well, it wasn't just the two of us for one thing, it was the entire group. And
What
for
haven't
another,
we
that is
done?
something of a long story.
Alright. Well, when you get to Citadel, I suppose let me know what happens, and we'll move on from there.
I should just also Thurston and tell him to make sure no one tries to shoot us.
I assume. Oh, all right. And she'll send along. Please don't shoot us down.
The Archdruid has been informed, but I wouldn't be surprised if you got a spare crossbow bolt or two.
I think this place can weather a crossbow bolt or two.
From the
I
sounds
could
of it,
use a
yes.
few extra.
Fair point. So, got about
Okay.
an hour till you guys land. Xenia, I believe you finished up with the dragon last time, or did you not get the results?
I got the shard and it has been contained.
Alright.
I didn't get any of the other results.
Okay. Well, most of the results are gross.
Indeed.
This dragon is
Gross.
whole, but the best way I can put it is molecularly unstable. It's kind of like the reverse of the cornstarch and water thing, where when you put pressure on it, it turns to solid.
Oh no.
When you put
Oh,
pressure on
yay.
the solid, it turns to liquid.
Does it go back to solid though?
Yeah, once it sits for a bit, it goes back to solid. But it is wildly difficult to do anything, as every time you touch something, it kind of drips.
So it's kind of like a big jello dragon.
Sort of, if the jello was in a very inconsistent habitat of temperature.
Basically,
I hate
if you're
everything.
very warm when you're handling jello.
Yeah.
Oh.
Lovely. Oh no, I can't hear anybody again. I'm back.
Hello?
Welcome recording for missing what I just said.
Yeah, sorry.
Hot
It's like a hot-
robot, cold jello.
Alright.
Okay.
Also, I guess you could say our roommates are
Nope.
pretty
Don't.
foul.
Nope.
No, they're
Stop!
They're nice
They're the
people,
opposite.
you absolute bastard.
Yeah.
You're slandering the birds for a pun.
Yeah.
Also,
birds
that's a
don't
great
deserve
sentence.
that.
Slandering the birds for a pun.
Xenia's gonna feign Mrs. Rosalind. How much money do we have?
Okay, so in the middle of these feign pings back and forth, Rosalind gets a side message from Xenia and pings back. I'm not sure. We haven't counted it yet. Oh gods, we probably should pay all of our soldiers, and she'll turn to Ashton and just mention this out loud as well as it occurs.
Right. Okay.
And we should probably set some of it aside to get this place fixed and up and running and get people settled.
Yeah, okay, that's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna put forward that we maybe don't pay them as much, but not more than the last journey, or maybe less. I don't know. It's just
The last one
This is-
was 150 gold. Was it per squad, or for both squads to split?
Conrad.
I can't remember.
I think it was for 150 gold, I think, per person, because I spent like
No.
1,000.
No, it was per squad, and then it was split up amongst them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know.
Pretty sure this is more than we got on the other one, but still.
It is.
Conrad, are you there?
Conrad seems to be silent. I don't know.
Connie is gone. We've lost him. Sometimes I can't hear his voice because his mic is shit.
Mm-hmm. He's gone.
He's gone.
Zeddy needs buckets. I don't think we have any.
That's why I'm asking for the money.
We'll send somebody to fetch some. As soon as we're close
Okay.
to the Citadel, but it's a few more minutes, I think.
Okay, I need to scoop up this dragon at a point.
Oh, I just read the chat. Ashton
Gross sentence.
You gave a big amount, it was later split by the squads.
Okay, but how much?
Call.
Let
Okay.
me see if I put it in my notes. It's been...
Okay, how much relative to what we had?
I don't remember how much
you-
we had.
of what each of your amounts were. The lowest amount that was given to any pair of squads was a quarter of what you had. So whatever you guys made, a quarter of that.
Okay. And how much did we each make last time?
If I knew that, I could give you the number.
I'm asking everyone else
Okay.
because I know you don't know now.
Hold on, I'll go look through it.
Because
Before I-
because because Ashta got an amount and he needed a bit more to cover his armor.
Yeah.
I want to say
Is
it
it
was
like
4,000
1,000?
each, but I don't recall.
How much was the armor?
About 5,000.
It was.
Yeah, 5,000.
Yes,
So yeah, it
a fuck
was.
ton.
Yeah, so I think it was 4,000 each. So that
Hold
would
on.
mean like about
Look at my notes.
1,000 each group.
Probably. I'm looking at my notes for how large the horde was.
Yeah, 'cause I
Um,
know I had enough money for 1,800 gold worth of diamonds. And that's all I can recollect.
Also, just as a side note, Azrael just because I saw it in the chat, Azrael just looked over and it's like, oh, your hair's down.
Yes, it got wet. It's easier to dry this way.
Yeah, it's just I guess we don't see it much like that is all. So
It's pretty.
Gets in the way a little bit.
yeah, no, I get it. And he just kind of like paused for a sec. Mine was a bit longer when it was younger, and then when I was younger, and it just kind of, or at least I tatted like that a few times. Just
Well, like this, and she pulls out her hair, and it's like most of the way down her back.
no about like shoulders, but
Wait, I thought his hair was shoulder length now. What length is his hair?
Shaggy, I think. I've only
You
ever
know,
drawn
yeah,
it at this.
Like chin length.
I've drawn
Yeah,
it
no,
at this
hey-
weird, like jaggedy length where bits of it might droop down like the back of his
it's
neck.
it's in the Matthew Morris.
Ah, okay.
Okay, fair enough.
And the hybrid had hair down like down longer.
So we know what
Um,
long-haired Ashta might look like.
Almost like Bo.
Yeah, no.
How's those numbers coming up, Brown Red?
I am reading the ancient texts.
All right,
Okay.
and he just kind of like. Ashton like kind of like walks a few steps to the left and then to the right of Rosalind.
Is something wrong?
Oh, it's just you. Well, like I said, you don't see it down much. All. It's wavier than I thought.
It's wavier than it used to be. Fane things. You remember when we were just poking at pasts and exploring memories and... Well, apparently my mother's was a bit on the wavier side, and mine changed to reflect that memory of her.
And you just go like, oh, and you're stuck.
Apparently. Just a bit. It wasn't a massive change.
I'm glad my dry mouth didn't.
That would be miserable.
It was. Especially when you go through the memory of having it like that for extended periods of time. But, anyways.
So, I'm not going to try to make you
Oh,
nicer,
we're doing
but
this.
No,
Are we?
no. Just curiosity. How dishonest was Rayla exactly? With your birthday, first of the month, end of the month.
Why do you want to know so badly?
Curiosity?
Purely?
More or less.
More or less.
Well, all the others answered. You just seem to like keeping everything in the dark. Even
Me,
when
kind of
it's not important, or... I assume not a big deal, unless it
If
really,
you want
really
me to strap him down, I can get Kai's name. It just seems like it's a bit more effort for this little tidbit than anything else.
Maybe. Alright, you keep your secret. Though, just, I guess, one thing. She did lie about both of them, didn't she? I want to be able to go to her and tell her that since she lied, clearly, and you confirmed that she lied, we can get that belt back.
Kind of like. But if she lied, and she helped me out by lying, why would I out her? It's not a very good way to show my gratitude.
And, how does showing your gratitude weigh against trying to stuff a pixie into your pocket when said pixie has the strength of a fire giant? A very annoying pixie who doesn't want to be in the pocket. Have you considered that? We didn't. And now I am.
We gotta like pause this for a sec.
I was waiting for that one to hit.
It is the month, but she's wrong.
Oh. So your birthday could be today, tomorrow, any day until the end. Well, the day before the end.
I'll neither confirm nor deny, and I will not be commenting on any further speculation.
You said it was the month. You've already confirmed that much.
And no more.
But alright, I'll see if we can get that belt back off of her, seeing as she cheated for it.
Just curiosity, huh?
It usually is, isn't it?
Not always.
Alright, sometimes it's troublemaking.
There it is.
Oh, we've got music!
What is this?
I don't know!
Oh, I can't hear it. Fuck.
It's a track for Esther chasing Rayla down, I guess. And she gets to roll perception for it.
Yep.
Oh, I wish you so much luck. Oh,
Ash
right,
is-
out of curiosity, since
Okay.
Ashta took off in a huge hurry being tickled, is he still, like, shoeless?
Yeah, he would be like shoeless and maybe shirtless.
Yeah, how much time did he have to grab his shirt before taking off?
Good
He
question.
didn't.
Probably not much.
He didn't.
We're in high altitude and it's cold.
It is surprisingly temperate on the island.
Okay, never mind, it's not cold.
Furthermore, he's immune to cold damage.
True, I hadn't thought of that. Okay, he's fine.
Also was gonna say something, and I'm glad we heard the rest of that.
Just, I should. Okay, we should get back. Just don't. Okay, troublemaking, huh?
Sometimes. You know this about me.
And he kind of like puts like his hand to his like face and kind of like rubs like his eyes, but there's a slight smile under it. Yep. Okay. Should have known. You want to head back?
Probably Oh, I left all my armor down there. Well,
I left my everything else.
Oh, you did? I hadn't... How did I not... I realized, but I didn't really realize. I'm so sorry. Just turns around and starts heading back.
Mm-hmm. And he kind of comes back. Try not. Just don't tell us, sir. Okay.
I'll try.
Wait. He starts throwing off. No, wait. And he probably catches up and just. No. Okay. Don't tell Esther.
Don't tell Esther that this month is your birth month? Sorry?
Yes.
Well, I make no promises, and she keeps going.
Rosalind.
Mm.
So Rosalind.
Yep.
Beneath a little bit of hair, you hear a slight whisper of, you know, just For such a skinny guy,
Oh
he's
man.
really buff, isn't he?
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, hand goes
No! We're
right
gonna
up to
dance,
hair.
aren't we?
Oh, that was convenient for you.
So
wasn't
as
it?
your hand
She
goes right up
stops
to your hair,
dead.
your hand gets stopped.
Oh no.
Ashta, she's here.
Who?
Rayla.
You traitor, and she busts while you hear it.
Rayla, you lied. You
My
lied
goodness.
twice. Give that belt back.
There is no response.
Thorn,
Ash
track
could-
her. Stay
I was
on
gonna say,
her
can Ashton
right
glance
now.
around?
Go ahead and glance around. Perception.
He's tracking Faith. Is this advantage?
Technically, yeah.
Thorn has 10 feet of blind sight. That is his roll, 22.
Really, 2 4s. Thorn at one point flies past her, and you see his tail whip out. And go ahead and have Thorn make a grapple check.
Thorn does not have that kind of strength.
Have him roll.
There could be 20s and ones rolled. We don't know.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah, he's got -2. I'm sorry. He's not a buff little...
Yep. You see the tail wrap around her for a moment, and again it just gets forced open, and there's a maniacal tiny laughter coming.
Rosalind just wants Thorn to stay on top of her and mark her presence constantly.
Okay. His fly speed can do that, so that's
Yep.
fine.
Does Ash just see her at all during that?
He's
Oh yeah, you see
getting
the minor confrontation.
pings from Thorn constantly.
Creature you can see, she is invisible.
I asked, did I see her, and you said, I see her.
Sorry. You know where she is. You see where she is. You don't see her.
Are we all getting these
Thorn's
pings?
No, just Ashta right now. Thorn will
Just
continue to
Ashta?
try this ill-fated grapple check thing and see if he can drag her down to Ashta and Rosalind. I don't know how many
Sure.
times you'll allow this.
Yeah, go for a second one.
Wait, what do you mean?
12.
It gave damage. Don't they both?
It's not damaged. She's not damaged. Holy crud.
Belt giant strength.
Yeah. We've got a
Can Ash
problem. in it.
run over? How high are they in the air?
Roughly 20 feet.
Can he? And he's not. I don't want to waste any more stuff in case we are doing something else. It's like, Rayla, just get down here.
Roll a persuasion check.
He says it with pure exasperation.
Roll a persuasion check.
Oh
Pretty-
my god.
There is more maniacal laughter as she zips away with Thorn in tow. At one point, you see Thorn start to go one direction, and then his tail gets yanked, and he's being pulled for about 20 feet. He catches himself again.
Ashton turns to the side, grabs Rosalind by the shoulders. What have you released onto this world?
I didn't know. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Oh my goodness.
There's a slight grin. It's I'm exaggerating. She'll have her fun. She's strong. She's not durable. Just because she can throw her weight around now doesn't mean she can do it all day.
That actually makes me think of something. One moment, and she's going to, at any point the flying ones zip within 30 feet of Rosalind.
Just by chance, probably.
She will cast Enlarge on Thorn, which gives him advantage on those strength checks.
Okay, fair enough.
So, we're just gonna try again if I can, with Big
Sure.
Thorn. Well, Small Thorn, really. He went from tiny to small.
It's,
Hell! Hell! Hell!
Re-
Well, he is going to be large for 1 minute, and he is still fast. He's not slowed down by this. So,
It is at this moment that Rosalind realized that she was fucked up.
Yeah! Very much so.
So, as Thorn continues to chase her around with little success, what are you guys doing? You probably know you're about half an hour away from the top of the mountain.
And she's like, okay, we should get back to the group and double check on everything and get some clothes on.
Esther
No,
is
we're
still
back.
in her on.
Of course she is. So yeah, they get back and roll.
So, what has Esther been doing this whole time? Other than trying to find Rayla?
Trying to what?
Other than trying to find Rayla.
Probably feeding Purus a few gold pieces.
Alright, just mark them off from your inventory.
I've given you the 1200 for the belt.
Stop feeding the boy treats, he's chunky.
He's chunky. He's
Let me
chunky.
feed my.
He needs his protein. He needs his protein.
This is
Yeah.
iron, good sir.
Also, by
Well,
the
actually,
way, wait, Caius, how much money did you?
1200.
Let's say 600 and call it even. I don't feel like bankrupting you.
600.
I thought you meant you were gonna feed 600 to Pierce. I was like, no!
Fuck. Fuck. Okay, yeah, sure. 600.
That's like that thing of the wombat in the tray of donuts.
Yep. Yep.
Wasn't it a possum?
Was it a
It
possum?
was an Australian
it was a possum.
Specifically-
Australian
No, it was a
possum.
Yes.
It was a possum. It was a fat boy who got ate so much he couldn't move.
Living the life.
And I love him so much. Alright, Caius, if you can get the belt off of Rayla, it's yours.
Are you? Oh god.
There we go.
Thank you for your money.
There you go.
Oh my god. I've been bamboozled.
Oh, good luck. At some point or other, you see Thorn zipping by, bigger than usual, like double his normal size, trying to chase after and grasp something invisible and cackling.
Alright, so
Alright.
I'm going to assume that you can figure out where she is for this. So go ahead and have both Thorn and Caius make a check.
What
Would
kind of?
Caius be like
I
stealth
grapple, so it's athletics.
What about sleight of hand to get the belt off?
Give me a sec.
You gotta
You have to catch her first.
Oh, true.
Is the thing. She's breaking everybody's grips.
Yeah, give me
Oh,
a
so
sec.
close.
You have a +7 to this.
Do I?
Yeah.
You have the belt on, yeah.
He was.
Oh, I have the belt on.
He's trying to get the belt off of her.
Yeah,
You
but it's
have
first a
to-
grapple check. It's an athletics check. Are you proficient with athletics?
Yeah.
In that case, it's a +7 plus whatever your proficiency bonus is.
But
He doesn't have a belt
not
on.
fair.
right?
One.
He hasn't had time to attune to the other belt.
Oh, that's right. So in that case, just an athletic check.
yeah, which is
He's trying to win his belt.
Yes!
Yeah. All right. So
Attaboy!
As you see, well, not see, but you feel her shoving open the loop, like the noose that is Thorn's tail. Caius, you just grab her, and you have 6 seconds. What are you doing?
I'm grabbing the belt off of her. I'm prying the belt off.
All right, roll a sleight of hand check.
contested by her like athletics or acrobatic.
This would be her probably athletics as well, as she's trying to hold your fingers back.
Oh my god. I only
You have good
a
dex,
plus
though.
one. I do have good dex, but I'm not proficient.
There's the circus is
9.
Oh,
God
no.
damn it.
Oh, fuck!
Oh,
What
no.
the fuck?
As you go to
God damn it.
stick your fingers into like separate her from the belt.
Why did
Um,
you do this?
Hold on. So as
I'm
you stick
turning
your
back.
your finger in to go grab the belt from her and like separate her, you see as she like both her hands like the invisibility drops, and she grabs both of your fingernails, and just holds them and looks at you and says, "Don't you dare move those hands."
Oh, fuck.
Esther, why would you do this?
It's not. I'm sorry! You want the belt? Go get
Who's
the belt!
worst idea?
I don't want the belt anymore. Have fun.
Why did you give it to Rick?
As a note, the other belt is on you guys. It's just not attuned yet.
I
Is
did a
it?
stupid thing. I did a
Okay.
stupid
Okay.
thing, and you weren't there to stop me.
Oh, please hold. I will be right back.
Oh no.
Don't you dare blame me, Caius. You know I have no impulse control with stupid decisions. This is why we are friends.
I'm as dumb as you! Why did you think I would have any say in this?
Conrad's being right back. I'll be right back too.
Okay.
Well, Rosalind was the one who also supported this decision, and she's smarter than both of us. Now you look me in the eye and tell me it was really my fault.
It's both of your fault. I was the one bitching about this belt, okay?
Yes, you were. And now, bitch baby can get his belt. Have fun.
Fucking, I hate you. I hate you.
I love you too. Now get your belt. Big boy wants belt. I am baby and I desire belt. This is a fucking shit show.
It really
Also,
is.
oh fuck, is Aquarius in the room? Because I remember we had to
Alright,
cast
I'm
non-detection for her to give...
Non-detection's still up. I don't know where she is.
Is
Yeah,
she in the room?
she's probably chilling in the crystal room.
Okay, because if she's in the room, I just realized that Esther's in her underwear.
Yes.
Might I add, it's like a sports bra and boxers.
Yes.
But still.
Yeah.
You can
Oh
you
my
can, you can sense the lesbian energy coming.
That's the best fucking thing!
She's not acting on it, but you can almost like feel the heat off her cheeks.
Esther's just gonna give her a slight glance. What does she see?
A very blushy air genasi.
Are you feeling feverish? Your face is rather red.
She just looks at you and says, "So is yours."
It's... I'm on fire.
Correct. You're hot as hell right now.
She kind of looks a bit confused. Have you been to hell?
Feel like I have.
Are you sure you're not feeling ill?
I'm feeling fine.
I love this too much! Big gay.
She's very carefully, like, not paying attention to you. Just petting the little griffin who has not left her side.
Oh yeah, the
Little
griffin.
hippogriff.
Hippogriff, yes.
Sorry, hippogriff.
Oh
not
my
griffin.
god.
Ocean.
He has... I thought it was Oigric.
Oh, it was Oirig, you're right. I was thinking of a different name. You're
I
right.
hate all of you.
Oirig.
Well, if it's any consolation, if you aren't feeling too well, I know about 10 different ways I can make you feel on top of the world. And she's gonna
Oh my
walk
god. Oh my god.
after shooting
Oh
away.
my god.
Strong nosebleed.
Huh?
The nosebleed.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
That's a nat 1 there, brother.
Yep. We lost him, and he's back again.
I just want the belt back.
You just...
And Kai's is like, give me the fucking belt. Kai
Oh yeah,
has the belt
no.
off.
There is a wrestling match, going on between a tiny being who is way stronger for their own good and Rayla.
And Esther just did a really shit pickup line, because Esther doesn't really know how to flirt.
It's okay. It's mutual.
Or not.
I'll speak of this that at some point you attune to the belt, John. So go ahead
Okay.
and athletics
Yeah.
check with a +7.
Esther's gonna go up to Rosalind and just, I got 600 gold.
Where did you
No pants.
get... Are you dressed... Can you... Please?
I-
We're about
what?
to show up at Citadel. I think that we should
Ash is,
probably
like,
be
putting
decent for
his-
this, and she's
his
got her
clothes
armor
back
back on.
What's wrong with what I'm wearing?
So there's different society things. People prefer if you wear more clothing. More revealing clothing is seen as tacky in some circumstances, especially high royalty. We are not
Really?
doing this thing that we did last time with the other topic. Getting it out in the open right now.
Oh, with orgies.
Yes.
No,
Stop.
She's
Kai's pauses
burning red.
with Rayla for a second. Oh, come on, not now.
As you say this, Rayla throws Kai's about 10 feet across the room.
Just like through grit teeth, just like we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about the fact that generally more decency is considered better qualities if you're talking to a prince.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna wear my suit tonight. That's why. And I go for a sling blade on Rayla.
I don't know what that is, but go ahead.
It's like he basically like runs at her and then like basically like jumps, turns, and then slams Rayla on the floor.
Don't do anything damaging. She's got one
She's
hit point.
one hit
It won't be
point.
anything damaging, but sure.
That's
But
okay.
just try,
I'll
Okay.
count it. I'll count it as an athletics check. Don't worry.
No, athletics check. Yeah.
Speaking of which,
Oh my
Esther-
God.
It's a wrestling type move. Oh my god.
Fuck
At the very least,
That's okay.
You got him!
Yes!
As your weight like lands on top for, go ahead and roll one more sleight of hand check.
Oh my god.
Or if you want to use athletics instead to rip it off, go ahead.
maybe.
I'll use athletics to rip it.
I think your sleight of hand.
Oh my
Oh no!
Wait, isn't
Oh my god.
Wait, you've
why?
attuned to the belt. You've attuned to the
That's
belt.
why it's a +7.
Yeah, that's why it's a +7.
Oh no!
Wow.
You tear the belt off and there's a quiet scream of no!
Does the belt grow to a regular size?
Yeah.
I got $600 because Kai's paid me for the belt, and then he had to deal with Rayla.
Rosalind
This is the
looks
most
over at
stressful thing
Ashka
I've ever
and
done in my
says,
life, Rayla. Please let me never go through this again.
You've still got like a toe on Rayla to keep her in place.
Wait a minute, I have a good line.
Rayla?
Rosalind say?
Rayla, I want
Sorry.
you to know.
No, I'm
No,
waiting.
it's just like I've like picked Rayla up by like the scruff of whatever, and I'm like handing it back to Ash. It's like you have caused me more trouble than I can account for. You've ripped 20 years off my life. I'm already only living to 50, man. Come on. I'm gonna die like next year out of stress.
Good. Give me the belt back.
No.
Do it. Puss it.
No. No.
Asha walks
No.
over, takes Rayla. Don't worry, I'll make sure he puts it in his will for you.
Wait, I have... Can I... I thought of
I'm
a
gonna
line.
hand
Can
the
I say...
belt to Yemma. It's just
Yellow holds it, looking very confused.
ah.
Thank you, Caius.
Guys, go for a walk.
I will.
Esther's
You know, Esther,
gonna...
ever since the maze, I've thought that you were possibly a better person than I was, but at least I haven't conned anybody out of 600 gold. So now I'm rather confused on that matter.
Hey. I mean...
Ash,
I'm joking, you're fine. You're terrible, but you're fine.
Asha walks over. Don't forget her stripping phase.
I
Who
had
said
and
it
I
was a
rather
phase?
wished to... Please not in front of any
She's
royalty.
gonna look at Aquarius.
Please.
Wait, she's gonna look at Aquarius. Who said it was a phase? And wink.
Oh god.
She kind of just looks at you and says,
Caius walks by. Oh
"Boy, in
god.
her underwear."
Yes. She
What did she say?
Oh shit, I'm lagging.
You're
I didn't
literally
You
know what
are
it
fine.
said.
a little bit.
What did he say?
You were in your underwear. I think.
Yeah, you're in your underwear already or something.
Yeah, still. Well, as she walks by to pick up her clothes, she's gonna look at Aquarius. I seem to have lost my clothes, though. Can I try yours on? And keep walking.
God. Oh god. Caius is having like Vietnam flashbacks. All the terrible things he said to women. It's just like, oh god, no.
But Esther's saying this in earnest. That's what makes it worse.
No.
That's what makes it terrible.
I'm like Esther, no. Esther,
why-
no. Those are terrible things to say to women.
Why was it rolled a 10? What happened, Conrad? What
He said he was
wrong?
lagging out, but you kept talking.
Face palm.
I don't think it worked. She sighed in
No.
disgust.
Esther gets dressed, and she comes back. She's very happy.
All right.
You know,
Oh God!
Aquarius is noticeably red. Test it.
Okay.
Yep.
You're in and out.
Yeah, it's not good.
She's noticeably less red.
Yep.
I think that one knocked her out of it.
Damn it.
The mystique
What
is
do I-
gone.
Pushed a little too far.
Yep. Pickup lines are not the best way to go with women.
Kaya says, knowing everything.
Yeah. Knows from experience.
To be fair, out of the group,
Alright.
guys might know
So,
that.
you notice that, Aquarius is noticeably less red, and it's over to you, Rosalind.
Rosalind just gives her a really helpless look.
Oh, no, he's just lagging
You're
terribly.
Okay.
brother.
Just type it, Conrad.
Wow. Clickety clackin'. Esther Mackin is now fully dressed to most people's relief. Maybe Aquarius' disappointment, but you know, that remains to be seen.
Who's closest to Ash, alright?
Rosalind, probably.
Probably.
He just kind of glanced over. Okay, can someone... Straps on the back, and he's like putting his armor back on. I'm used to the medium stuff.
I don't really know heavy armor that well, but I can try.
Just slot it in, it's...
There. Okay.
Yep,
He's
just
trying.
over... Other one.
Other one.
It kind of looks like you're putting a doll back together.
Aquarius has walked over to Rosalind and asks, I'm starting to wonder how you put up with these idiots, and to that Rosalind just says, I'm not quite sure. I think I've built up a tolerance.
You know, I put up with them too. It's just, you don't like me as much.
No, really, what am I doing wrong? This isn't supposed to hurt. I know it's not.
It's just the... It's on the side, it's just... And he just like, okay, no,
Alright,
okay,
am
that
I
was just...
pinching this?
Yeah, it was just a little...
Hold still.
Okay, no, I think you got it.
Okay. Oh, Caius is putting on his nicer gear.
Yeah, it's like the one he wears to formal events. He usually just he has, it's just like a dress shirt and pants.
Yeah.
And like a blazer.
Asha kind of like looks over and is like, wait, is this like a formal thing, or...?
I don't
No,
think
I just think we're going to see the royals, right? So might as well dress for the occasion.
I thought we were supposed to look nice.
Looking nice is always good.
Also, there's a clear distinction between, you know, like, naked and nice, and then nice and fancy. You'll find that
Yeah.
the first one has a much larger gap than the second one.
Yeah. Plus,
Well,
I
I'm
can
not
still fight in
naked.
this.
Yeah, you're not, and you look good. It's, like, I'm not saying that. Just, I'm saying, is there fancy stuff going on?
That's what I'm asking.
I don't think so. I have stuff nicer than this if it is a fancy.
It's just also that Caius, you know, has open chest and ripped sleeves, and, you know, that's going into that other direction.
I mean, Caius put on sleeves. Does that mean something?
Yeah, that's a good point. Is
Well,
Caius in
it-
sleeves?
Yes, Caius is in sleeves.
Cool. Okay.
Okay, if Caius put on sleeves, then do I have to put on sleeves?
No, I don't think.
I don't think there's a
Caius-
rule for that. You're fine. Trust me, Esther, you're fine.
Caius, do you have extra sleeves?
Aquarius
I
is sitting there
don't
with her,
think that's how that
her
works.
hands. Esther, can I please give you a lesson in diplomacy?
Please do.
Please.
Yeah, I think that's
Please.
best.
Good. And you just reaches into her bag and pulls out a dress for you. Wear this.
Oh. I've never worn one of those before.
Congratulations. Wear it.
Oh, okay. I'll go get changed. And she
Are you going to
she
need
has-
any help with any lacings or
It's a very simple dress.
okay? Buttons.
you
nothing?
see Aquarius. Esther is so excited.
Okay.
She has
Oh,
never
dear.
worn a dress before in her life.
Really? Okay. Tell Rosalind that she'll have a field day. Anyhow.
That's what
Aquarius
she just
then
said.
turns. Aquarius turns to Xenia and goes, "And you, get the blood off you. Go take a bath."
He's gonna look up from the floor they were laying on for like 30 minutes so you can see me.
She kind of just looks at you. Would you like some help with getting some water?
I think I need
Does
some
it
help getting up.
prestidigitate?
Asha walks over and, like, from the back of the shirt.
It's damp.
Rosalind,
Yes.
could you maybe help me? I don't really know how to do any of that.
All right. Let's go upstairs. All right. Anybody else? You can come along. Well, and maybe not anybody else. I think Xenia might be allowed. I don't know.
Xenia needs to get clean.
True.
Xenia does need to get cleaned.
Xenia, come along.
Alright.
We'll arrange some kind of bath at the very least.
Aquarius, you can make water, right?
I plan to.
Good.
Ashton, in the meantime, get Kai as presentable, please.
I am
Asha looks over. How does he look?
He's
Is this
definitely
collar
the worst.
Right now.
Or pop?
He's in
There
his
is no
suit right now.
collar. Oh, is he in
There's
a
a
suit? Okay.
collar. He's in his
Okay.
suit. What the fuck?
Question. Where did you get
I
the
told
suit?
you. He always has it on him. It's
your
in his
bag.
backpack. in
Alright,
case
he's wearing the wrinkliest suit you've ever seen.
Yeah, I need to iron it out, but
I
yeah.
can help you with that. And Esther lights
No.
a flame in her hand.
No.
No,
Esther, no.
I'm not gonna burn it. I'm just gonna get my hand warm, and then it'll work.
Esther, you have bigger priorities, namely your dress. Also, if you
Yeah.
can figure out how to wear high heels, that will do.
What are high heels?
Baby steps.
Oh, jeez.
High heels are torture devices that we don't need to worry about. Now come along.
Why would I
Yeah,
put a
correct.
torture device- As she's walking away, just mumbling, "Why would I put a torture device on my feet?"
No.
Before Xenia
Because
comes
some
up,
people find them attractive.
before they keep going, Aquarius stops at Xenia. Who would you rather join? Would you want me to just help you?
I have clothes. I know how to get dressed.
Yes, but would you
was a
like me
woman-
to get all the blood off of you?
I'd like someone to get the blood off of me because right now I don't really know how to do it.
I
In that
have
case-
prestidigitation.
So do I.
You're helping Esther with the-
Can you like unwrinkle the
It's okay, I can help out Xenia. You two, go make Esther presentable.
Asha knows how to
Yes,
iron something,
try not
right?
to get covered in dirt
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
next 10 minutes.
So does
Ashta.
Kaius. He keeps it.
She looks at Ashta. Ashta, go
She
shave.
looks. Sorry,
What'd
you
she
got
say?
out there.
Go shave.
You have lenses like I did this morning. You there, Conrad?
He's muted himself, probably
He's not.
laggy.
He's muted himself. Yeah, he's typing.
Ashta, go shave. I did this morning. Your razor is shit, brother.
Do it again.
We've
then
been
you
through
use
this.
a
Someone
sharp
has seen him
razor.
shave.
Yep.
Aquarius, it just grows back. I've seen it. It's sharp.
What does this dress look like?
He
Because
said
I'm.
He said a pretty simple one. It depends on what kind of colors Aquarius wears.
He just looks fine. Fine, I'll go shave again. That'll make you happy. Fine.
And also, Esther will have told Rosalind, I've never worn something like this before.
Well, I
mean, there are ropes, but that's usually for seers. Dresses were seen as impractical, especially with sand and running and surfing and children.
Oh, they can be. We'll just do our best and see if we can get you used to it. Dress is simple enough, oranges and sunset colors. Only kind of strap is a belt sewn onto the dress around the waist. So we don't have to worry about, like, Rosalind doesn't have to worry about, like, teaching her corset lacings or buttons or anything like that.
Esther would not be happy.
Yeah, no. So yeah, Rosalind will help Esther just figure out, okay, here's the front, here's the back, you just put it on and do the belt up, and now we're gonna go find some shoes somewhere. That'll work. Somehow.
Is it alright if I put this sash on? I know it's kind of bright, but it's the nicest thing I have.
What color is the sash?
It's a nice red. It's kind of embroidered a little bit with sort of gold thread. It's kind of like like a belly dancer sashes. Like with the coins on them.
I think that this works, actually. Look, it layers over the skirt. Pred works with these colors.
I got it when I turned 18.
Really? Is that a tradition in your home?
In my family, yeah. It's it's for dances, ceremonial dances.
I think it's beautiful.
Thank you. If anything, you'll probably get one too.
Really?
Yeah.
Just-
Well, I mean, I know I haven't discussed this with you yet, or anybody, but if I do return, there is a ceremony. It's tradition. It's the welcome home kind of idea. There's a lot of dancing, and a lot of food, and a lot of drinking. But it's important.
Well, will you teach me a few dances for that ceremony so I'm not completely fish out of water? Doesn't have to be
Really?
today, but yes. I'll teach you
I'd love
some
to.
for... Of course.
Oh, this will be wonderful. Oh, also, and she's gonna, well, her staff is most likely still with her. She's gonna show the crystal that's dangling from her staff. If the time comes to go back, I can use this to find our way. But I can only use it once. So we have to be very sure, okay?
Alright. It might not be immediate, but we've got another issue to take care of in the south. Maybe other places to go, but I'm sure we can make those along our way. And we've got this place now.
Yeah. Just so you know. I don't think I've told anybody. So, it's about time I brought that up.
Mhm.
Are you sure this looks okay?
Here, let me see. Do a little spin. Just let
And she'll
the
do a twirl.
skirt flare out around her. I think it looks just fine. Here, I've
Thank
got
you,
a little bit
Rosalind.
of I've got a little bit of makeup if you want just a few touches.
I don't know.
I'll keep it subtle.
What does it do?
Makes your eyes a little bit more noticeable.
She's gonna look at it and just Oh, it's like face paint.
A bit. But well, I think I'll have to work around your I'll have to work around some various markings, but I think it could be done.
Suldar.
Suldar?
That's what they're called. Suldar, yes.
Suldar.
I mean, these aren't even the interesting ones. They're kind of normal, in a sense, for those of us who have them. My one sister, Ash, she has rings. Rings of blue. They're very, very pretty.
I can only imagine. Here,
Yeah.
I'll try a little bit, and if you don't like it, I can just wash it right off.
Okay.
And yeah, Rosalind will spend some time helping Esther do up her face and She's not going over the top, and I don't know enough about makeup in detail to talk about it like that, so...
This is such a fucking cute moment, honestly. Do I have to, and she points to her hair. Is that okay?
To be honest, I'm not quite sure how to style fire hair.
No, I mean, do I have to turn it off?
I don't think so. Remember, Esther, Prince Ronir is also a genasi, albeit of a different element. I'm pretty sure he's not going to give any complaints because of your hair.
Yeah. Yeah. And she'll look in the mirror and just kind of stare for a minute. I've never looked like this.
It's different.
Like,
but is it good?
no, you don't understand. I don't think I've ever looked pretty before. I've looked rough and I've looked like a mom, I've looked like a traveler, but I don't think I've ever looked pretty. It's nice. Thank you, Rosalind.
It's not so much that you look pretty now and didn't before. You're just different, so you're noticing it. That's
She's
all.
gonna hug Rosalind anyhow. Thank you.
And while that cuteness happened, apparently Ashta has been fighting with a razor.
No, it is purely the player asking. He just shaved as normal because
Okay.
that's how it happens. But apparently his stubble has magical weapon. It resists non-magical weapons.
Okay, so how does one roll for household?
Just roll a d20, I don't know.
This is such
What the
a
hell are
fun
you
thing.
doing?
Oh my god.
What modifier do
You don't. What is
am I
that?
sufficient?
I like how last time we saw Prince Ronir too, we were all like in normal adventuring shit, and now we're trying to look nice.
Last time we saw Prince Ronir, Rosalind... Okay, no, last
I
time
added
was
my
when we were
wisdom.
sent off. Anyhow, Rosalind is staying in her half-plate armor and new getup. She's not changing back to her regular dress right now, so it's kind of...
Heather's
Okay,
still
I will
in her
ask you guys.
mithril.
Are you guys heading to the top of the mountain? Or are you trying to head to Citadel underneath the mountain?
Good question. Have we gotten any word back telling us, hey, we see you, come here?
If you ask the ship and look through them, you could see there were quite a number of soldiers watching you from the top of the mountain.
Esther's gonna ask the ship, is there a place we can, like... Do you know how to park? Like, to stop?
I bet we are parked.
Assistant or secondary?
Sec.
Secondary driver. Parking is simple as stopping.
Are you able to get the edge of the island as close to the top of the mountain as possible?
Which edge?
Oh, God.
Caius, your shirt is successfully ironed.
Very nice, in fact.
Sorry, Conrad, what did you say about the island?
Which edge?
Rosalind? Which edge?
I don't think that we need the edge adjacent to the mountain. We just need to decide and ask where... We need to find out where we need to appear and have the birds take us there.
Maybe a mile or so off.
I do not want to
Of the
walk...
As a group back
We do
together.
not want to walk there
or-
for a mile.
No, I mean to be... the castle can stop a mile or so, and then we can be teleported.
I'm not sure how far the birds can... Well, presumably they can teleport us there. Let's just... Can we just gather information? Gather the squads, find out who wants or needs to head back to Citadel first. The underneath side. Find out
Astra
if
will
the
show up and
birds-
it's like, didn't the prince tell us to give him a ring when we're here?
He might have. Okay,
Esther's
so
gonna
feign to
feign
the
the print.
Oh, go for it.
Hi. We're here.
Where? You're not trying to get into the right?
I'm
Pardon?
trying to get into. Repeat, Conrad. He's muted.
We started out okay. Mostly.
No, we're outside the mountain. Where do you want us? On the Citadel or in the Citadel? We just don't know where you want to meet us.
We'll speak to the Archdruid. I don't control. We can't.
We kind of can't.
He doesn't have Fane.
He doesn't have Fane. We can't reach him.
Can Xenia sending the Archdruid?
Yes, you
Yes!
can!
Please!
Please!
Xenia runs in, towel on, dripping wet.
Hey, Xenia's fucking dressed.
Alright, towel around the head, the hair.
Excuse me, okay.
Never mind. We can apparently contact him.
Okay, Xenia sends a message.
25 words, 25 words.
Oh boy. I'll count if you want.
Hi.
It says, I
we're
assumed
here-
as much, you all have powerful magic. Anyways.
Okay. Xenia's gonna cast sending.
If they're all in the same room, Asher's gonna go, let him know we have the castle. No one's telling some people that we have a whole entire island flying through the sky.
Junior can't
That
say anything
noticeable.
because they already cast sending and it's gonna go to the fucking Archdruid.
It's also a little noticeable. Like, a little
Xenia,
bit.
are you casting it right now?
A little
There's just a
bit.
thumbs up.
Okay. Hello, Artrude. We have returned. Very successful. We have an island in tow.
Xenia's the one who
Can
can
we
do
meet?
the message. Unless you're
No,
dictating.
he is dictating to Xenia.
Xenia will just repeat it.
Please meet us. Send.
And if there's some words left.
I didn't count.
If there's 7 words left, where do you want us to park?
Okay, I'm gonna type it out then.
Okay.
Do you have free parking?
Anyway, we can get a free parking pass, as well as maybe like a free pasta pass if that's also in the works.
I think that's the entire
Should-
sending
Okay,
message.
I'm typing it. I'm typing it right now.
Esther's gonna look to Rosalind. Should we go talk to our squads?
I was already planning on it.
Shall I accompany you?
If you'd like.
How many words again?
25.
25.
8, 10, 11, 12, 13.
$25 words, okay.
Test, test.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You got a lot of words.
Yeah, sure.
Oh no.
I can fucking see that.
And then 7 more words, where can we park? That's 4
Right.
words.
I'm bringing a soldier with a stone slab, myself, and my right hand. I assume you're in the castle?
Fuck, I have to send it again.
Oh, they're coming to us.
He knows how sending works. Comes on.
No.
They don't have Skyride.
I wish I
The,
no.
the chalk the chalk can cast
Oh,
skyride.
you know what? Hold on. Yeah, grab the chalk, cast Skyride. Just write, "We come in peace."
No, just write yes, answering their
No.
student's question.
No, Esther's gonna write no shit.
Don't.
Exactly what message
Someone
you have,
responsibly.
asshole.
We're in a group right now. No one is just pulling up the chalk and doing something.
Yes.
Okay. Ash is gonna go with the chalk. Maybe let the people know we're coming in peace. Just
Got it.
I think
Esther
we know
takes.
that.
we mean no harm.
Esther takes a piece of chalk, writes, "Yes, we mean no harm. Please come aboard. Bring us your leader."
Not
No!
No, no!
No, don't do that.
We come in peace.
They're
Yeah,
not
that's
coming
what
aboard, we're going
she's
down there!
saying.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I don't know
Yes.
now because the archduke
I-
mentioned
Ash-
getting a slab and coming up.
That's what I thought.
I'm getting very confused messages here.
That's why I thought they were
Yeah,
coming
because we're
aboard.
casting message and it's single time messages.
Xenia's getting a message. I'm entering the castle. Where am I landing? What are those dino birds?
They're nice. Don't hurt them. Land
Esther.
in the castle.
We'll meet you
Esther
in.
writes that in
We'll
chalk.
meet you in front of the castle, please. Tell them that.
You know, Asha just sighs and
Rosalind's
he'll.
already heading out.
Yeah, Asha is just going to go ahead, cast haste on himself, and he's just gonna bolt over to the side of the.
Oh,
Esther is gonna follow Rosalind. Wait, what about Aquarius? We have to hide her.
oh, for God's sakes!
The house.
Just
Here, you.
In the
go
house,
and
close.
I can get him back to the house. Don't worry, I'll go take care of her.
You've already zoomed away, Ashton.
I figured that was okay. Whatever.
Just letting you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Esther's gonna give
letting you know,
Rosalind
okay.
and Esther will give Rosalind a nervous thumbs up, and she'll head off to the crystal room. Just
You would know that Aquarius once told that you would go to the house herself.
Hmm?
It's just-
You were breaking up.
what
Yep.
did you say?
Yeah, this guy just didn't understand you, Conrad.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
just
okay.
me.
Aquarius heads to the room with Pyrrhus and the menagerie.
okay.
Esther's gonna ask, does this look okay?
She looks up and down and goes, I knew I shouldn't have shown you that. It's gonna be hard to focus. Just keep walking.
You sewed this for me?
Shut up.
Wait, you made this for me?
Shut up.
That's so sweet.
I'm going to bed.
Do you want a good night kiss?
You get an ice knife thrown past your head.
Oh, you don't gotta be mean. I have lipstick on too.
Come see me after you negotiate with the general.
Esther's got the biggest smile on her face. She just kind of looks and just, okay. And she just runs off. She does not know what
Oh,
just
my
happened.
goodness.
Side note, it's an action to turn the house back into a pot, right?
I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
the house has been up.
Yeah.
I know. I'm asking, can we put it back to a pot so it's
Esther will
on a
do it
good
back to
plane?
the pot.
Yeah, it's simple enough to do.
Esther will do it once they go inside.
Alright, in that case, Esther, just keep a note in your backpack is the pot.
Yes. And then she'll run out to the front of the castle. Just
So
Very
Asha makes
happy.
it first.
Yep, and Ashton,
Kind
you
of
easily wave down the general and his soldier. And he lands. Where are you posting up?
Where am I? What?
Where are you going to wave them down?
In the direction they said they were coming.
They said they're coming to the castle.
Yeah, I said the entrance of the castle. If you could.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
then he'll just go basically towards where the
that's
middle of
awesome.
the Citadel would be.
Okay. Citadel would be on the side of the castle that doesn't have an entrance because it's across the entire island.
He's going.
Um,
He's trying to get to them before they get to the castle. He's going
Yeah,
in the
no,
direction.
no, I'm just.
in.
I'm just. So the way Kingman is on the side of the island, most surrounded with island land. The edge that the castle would float facing the side of the mountain is the side with no entrance because it's the least way they'd have to fly across the whole island. So you can easily wave them down to go to the front entrance. That's fine. I'm just letting you know which direction they're coming from.
Yep, that's what I wanted to make sure of.
So, you head there, he lands. He's in his full armor, and you can see the Inquisitor by his side. Ashta, the vaguely familiar soldier named Rose.
She's a
Oh,
healer.
Yep.
Oh.
probably here on a request.
Yep. It's just her. She seems to be in control of the stone floating. And she kind of looks at you in the armor and waves very confusedly.
Yeah, you kind of like gives a glance like, oh, you're hi.
Hi. We come in peace as well? And the general just kind of like puts his hand on her head and like goes, shut up. And
I should like rubs the side of his head and is like, yeah, that was someone with a piece of chalk that shouldn't have had it. We don't have an open line and it makes it a pain in the ass. I figured I'd just come here and we can actually talk.
The general kind of like walk up people's chest Ashta and looks you up and down. He's significantly taller, as you'd expect from a half orc or a Goliath, sorry. And he puts out a hand to shake.
Asha will return.
Yep. And two suits of armor clang, they shake hands. And he kind of just looks you up and down and goes, "How the fuck did you manage this?"
Magic.
You're not.
Good question.
You're all not there right now.
And how long ago
yeah.
we catch up, Rosalind was taking off right after, but slower.
He was hasted and he
Same
was
here.
dashing his bonus action.
Yep, okay. A while.
Yeah.
Yep. But he'll start walking back with them as well. And just, well, we had personal business with something here, but I guess convenience fell into place. And with a bit of magic and a bit of help from some of your people, or some of the Citadel's people, I guess, the squads that fought the dragon, we managed to get the thing running again.
He kind of just like shakes his head. It's like, more than a decade I've been trying to get this, and you guys do it in 2 days.
We've been doing a lot of things in short amounts of time.
Yeah,
We're
I've noticed.
cool.
Don't remind me. Alright.
Hey, you sent us this way. You basically.
I didn't expect you to succeed.
Oh, and yeah, we hear that a lot. Don't remind us.
Oh, good job. Fuck me. Can I go exploring? I've been trying to find this place for so long. Can I please go look around?
Yes, but there is. We're not the boss here, and you're not the boss here.
Oh, trust me, I know this is technically your land.
No,
Okay, don't
it's not
remind me.
even.
What do you mean?
You're gonna have to talk to the matron, or the monarch, rather.
Who the...
You know those birds?
Yeah, I know the birds.
Much bigger.
Oh,
She's nice though.
Is she?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Inquisitor, come with me. And you see him kind of like nod and speed up behind him. He is giving you, like, some people stare daggers. This guy is staring entire axes at you.
Why?
Asha kind of gives a glance back and is like, "What's up?"
Just shakes his head. As he enters the castle and steps through the hallway,
Also, just as we're going, Asha's gonna like walk over to Rose and is like, "So what are you doing back?" Like, well, I guess not back, but here.
I mean, we haven't had many injuries. No one's been going up or down the mountain, so just helping out where I can. Use my magic that I have.
And you can do the rock thing too.
Oh yeah, it gets tossed to most of the new recruits.
Hmm.
It's kind of like a stable duty in a weird way.
Again, like, can you teach that to other people?
Given time, yeah. It's enchanted rocks though. You'd have to get some of your own.
Okay. Alright.
And you guys head through the entranceway where there's probably about 60 or 70 fires just watching, and the general kind of looks up and waves and mutters under his breath. Fucking spooky. And
Honestly, there was a whole bunch of black dragons here before we got here. It was worse.
And you got rid of them?
There was a big one, and most of them were like worm-sized, wormling. And the birds helped.
Do these birds often help?
Mm, You can talk to her. You can talk. I don't want to speak for them.
I suppose.
Oh, there's the rest of the group now.
You know, you're far too fast when you do that.
I know.
Yeah.
And he falls forward in the lethargy from haste.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
And he's gone.
He'll be back in a moment.
Yep, I'm good.
Well, welcome.
Welcome to our house.
Eventually.
We have roommates.
Yes. Here, I'll take you to the leader of them.
Please do. Am
Good to
I gonna have to negotiate with a bird?
She's very eloquent. Don't worry about it.
She can speak. It's
That
awesome.
is not my question. All right.
Yes.
We already have.
Doesn't surprise me.
Right this way.
It's not the first bird I've spoken. Whatever. And the Inquisitor goes to shake your hand, Rosalind.
She'll shake it. It's lovely to see you again.
I wish I could say the same.
And we do
Take us to this bird,
we do rather bring chaos, don't we? Not intentionally.
among other things.
And she'll lead them towards and along the way. Oh, hello! What a surprise to Rose. There was an accent mark on it.
There was. I forgot. Sorry. Rose kind of nods to you and says, "Hi." She like leans over to you and says, "Did he always have armor like that? Just didn't wear it?"
No, that's new. And she gives her a smile and keeps walking towards the monarchs.
It's a recent development.
You see the Inquisitor stop
Actually-
stop Rose and say that Rose will stay out here, or in here, I guess.
Here, if you like, Thorn could stay with you, and she'll leave Thorn there with Rose and kind of just keep
Had-
going, leading the others.
How do we know the wine again?
The what?
The wine, Rosé. How do we know her again?
Oh, Rose was a healer we encountered when we were last on the mountain, and we dealt with the Anis Hags and Galebdurs, and had that mishap with the portal, and then we kind of showed back up, and she was kind of the healer who helped patch us up.
Ah, okay.
You
I
probably
wasn't there
would.
for that.
Yeah, you would not recognize her either because Esther was not there for that fight.
Oh yeah, no. It was Xenia,
That's why I
Ashta,
got
and
confused.
Rosalind.
Correct. And Caius as well, but
Okay.
Esther was not there.
Esther will say hello regardless.
Yep, she kind of smiles to you and waves as you guys head to the Monarch, who kind of, sitting much more regally than when you guys entered, leans down towards the General and just, hello. The General just nods. She goes, "Are you the one who's been scrying on me for years?" And the General nods once more. "Huh. Well, good job finding me."
Esther has to hide a smile behind her hand.
The General kind of bows a little bit. I take it this is your island? Oh, yes, this is, I hope you don't mind me invading your airspace.
Airspace.
Sorry, did I lag?
Nope.
No.
Okay. He nods once more, and I hope we can remain peaceful, as I've been curious about this place on the Tomb of Jack for a while. You see the bird kind of like, their eyes twist in confusion and says, "Is Jack what you call him?"
For lack of any other name, I think it's a kind of placeholder.
It's
Or a colloquialism, I suppose. Jackarian is how he said his name. I will spell it.
Jackarian.
That is. That's a kind of spelling right there.
Correct. As a reminder, this is a language from thousands of years ago.
No, I'm saying that's.
Kareem?
Yeah,
She doesn't know.
yeah,
That
no.
was his name.
But
I
Ash
will say,
knows.
Jack existed before Hal Kareem, so
I know, but Ash, no. No, you don't understand. I'm wondering if they're like ancestors or something.
Conrad.
what?
Anyways,
Um,
Don't
you
do
see
this.
the general almost like perk up at that, and oh, I just found that name a couple times. I didn't think it was related. Shit.
Is that
Well-
a problem?
No, it would have brought me here faster.
I see.
I didn't want to make assumptions and fly someone out without certainty. But you guys volunteered, so good job.
Well, lucky for us then.
Yeah. Don't worry, Miss Monarch, I've been excited to be here for a long time. With your permission and the permission of, I assume, your new residents, would I be allowed to explore at least the castle for today and potentially have my men look over the village nearby? She nods and says, well, as long as you're dedicated to keeping things in good shape as you found it.
Ash also like, and we haven't exactly gone over the village ourselves yet. I'd ask you take some of us with you when you do so, and we get first on anything. But we're willing to negotiate if there's anything of like historical value or something like that. Just
Well, I want to get my historians in there, yes, but also I have,
also you.
frankly, I have a bit of an overpopulation problem of soldiers. There's been quite a number of volunteers from Peduncle.
Alright, are there any soldiers who would be just as happy as farmers? Because quite frankly, we have a great deal of land here, but populating it entirely with a fighting force isn't going to do much good if the fighting force simply starves.
Furthermore, this is. Are you implying and basically an asking of residency right now?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, if you're willing to let me put a squadron or two up here just so I can have them somewhere and doing something, it'd be good training for the new ones. And as well, Rosalind, I have a number who were druids in Peduncle. They could do some growing if you need.
Here's the thing, we don't really want to rely a great deal on plant growth, if at all.
That's alright, they can...
Another thing is that we do not know if we're going to be able to simply fly to you at need. We're already being called, or at least one of our number, to the south. And, I
We
don't
have
know.
personal business, and we don't want to end up trapped up with whatever your own personal business is, and kind of keeping some of your men hostage while we go about places that they do not need to be.
Would you at least be willing to take those who just brought families and were seeking asylum?
Quite
And
possibly so.
those who
Not
didn't want to go to...
But not immediately.
We need to see
Sorry.
if this land is suitable for supporting them first.
Keep in mind we found this thing a day or two ago.
We
I'm
haven't,
aware, but I
but
figure... Go ahead.
asylum,
No,
as
we know
long as
fast.
there's a way to produce food for them, I think that we might be able to manage.
That is,
I don't want to trap anybody on
I'm
this and
sure
have...
some of it'll only be volunteers. It's what I'm putting on my choice.
Regardless,
Uh,
I don't
a number that I
suppose
was looking for a safer place.
this might be a safer place, but, well, as I said, food
Can't
and
guarantee it's a
livestock.
safer place either.
We haven't
I can-
explored it, but
In
And
that
we
case,
have
let's
business
talk
to take care of.
negotiations. Okay. Do you need something from me that I could offer?
Well, for one, I mean, it's not something we need, but it's more of a mutual. You want to go in and get through and look through various information and find things here because you've clearly had your eye on it for a while. There's some things we wouldn't be. We're always open for information as well. So help in that front, I feel, could be beneficial on both sides.
I could definitely offer some of that. So in exchange for some of my more scholarly folk and researchers and excavators, would you be willing to, at least for the time that they are here working, bring things to you before they bring it to me? Would you be willing to take up some of the families who came to Citadel for safekeeping and safety from the war?
The families of the ones you're sending.
Yes. As well as some of those who just need a place to stay. We
Again.
can't grow stuff on top of the mountain very well.
But that's one more thing. We have grown nothing up here just yet, and I don't know what kind of wildlife there is. I don't know what kind of hunting. I don't believe there's any tamed wild livestock. Tamed gone wild, rather. Will you be able to send up supplies for those families at least long enough to get their footing? And to create those resources?
We're not certain we have the capacity to take on a large amount of people.
I
Exactly.
understand.
We
I
understand
wouldn't be
you
offering
come
a
up-
large amount. I'd be sending maybe 30
More than
people.
us could be a
No, I'm
large
aware.
amount.
I mean, if it's,
What
if it's equal to the amount of soldiers that you brought up here, would that be
That was
alright?
on an expedition, not necessarily them all staying here.
In that case, what I can offer you, if you'd let me finish, 1 month's supplies for your soldiers and the ones that I sent. After that, come back and we can discuss further terms. You'd get 1 month's service for my men. Those coming would come with the understanding that they have a month to try to figure out something for the long. I assume
Maybe-
fresh water you're okay with already?
I believe we have that in spades. There's a
That makes
lake.
things much easier.
There is a lake, there is a
maybe we
forest.
should-
There might be resources, but we need to find them.
Maybe we should investigate first.
It'll be
Like we said.
faster with people to investigate.
That's the thing, is we need time, but the help would be appreciated. It's
In that case,
we're trying to balance out not bringing too many on, but making sure we know what we can't bring on.
the roughly 40 people, as I said, roughly equivalent to the amount of soldiers that you guys brought. About 30 of them would be residents trying to make a life, trying to see what they can do with the land you offer them. 10 would be researchers, archaeologists, historians. They'll be bringing information to you first, but the same information will be brought to me.
I think that this could be manageable.
But we're hesitant to give an absolute answer right this second. You understand?
Give us a day?
I do. As long as until the end of the day you don't mind me exploring your masonry around here.
As long as you don't mind being accompanied by some of our people.
I would appreciate the help, honestly.
We should probably also meet with the prince in the Citadel. He did help us get in contact with you to create this expedition. I'm sure he'd appreciate an update. So in the meantime...
I could have him brought up here by nighttime if you...
Be a good idea.
That might be expedient.
Alright. Let me see him focus for a second, and... Alright. One of my men, Pegasus, is going to bring him up. Be too long. Couple hours.
Alright. Well, let's go ahead and get a start on you taking a look around.
Lead the way. Have you found the tomb of Jack, or Jackareem yet?
We may have, but we are informed by the monarch that it is considered consecrated ground. Holy. She's asked that, as part of our deal for staying here, that we not tamper with it. We have agreed to this.
Understood. And, Miss Monarch, is there any way I can pay my respects to, Jack here? And she kind of... You see almost like a smile on her face. It says, typically a vigilant watch for a number of hours is how we've traditionally done it. But time and your respect is all I ask. He nods and says, Believe me, I can offer that in spades.
Real quick, Asha makes the thorn symbol to Rosalind. I assume they have.
Thorn is currently hanging out with Rose outside of the courtyard. So she'll hold up
Alright,
a finger, call Thorn back, and then...
Thorn first sends you an image of a very startled Rose. Kind of flies over.
He lets over. Keep that place and keep the place under the water shut tight.
It is...
Just making.
I'll make sure of it.
We don't want him in there.
She'll
Don't
feign
know what the hell
around...
that guy is.
Yeah, she'll feign around to the others, do not mention... Especially Esther, do not mention what we found in the chamber beneath the pool, and do not unlock it. And she might actually send a message to the Castle Crystal saying that that door is to remain locked until she says otherwise.
Understood, primary driver Rosalind.
Alright, and in the meantime, it's just like tour guide time, like around the
Yep.
top level and then around the bottom. And let him
And he
keep
does
vigil.
bring the Inquisitor, Rose.
Yeah.
And do you see the Inquisitor kind of like looking at you guys and says, who would I be able to ask about information that you have found?
In regards to.
This castle, this place, what the wildlife is here. Anything I'd be able to speak to, who would know?
We haven't had much time to really explore. There was the battle, there was recovery.
That's alright, I don't have much time to explore either. I just want to know what you know already.
I know the sunsets are beautiful. I'm afraid there's not much more.
This used to be, I'm sure you can tell by the scaling, this used to be inhabited by giants, assumedly ones that can freely come on and off this island, as there's no real easy way for grounded types to get on and off of it.
And these birds, they just live here?
We believe they became pick up residence after this place was abandoned.
And I heard mention of black dragons. Gone, you're certain?
If they're in the downstairs, there's probably a corpse around a corner.
Yep, they're on your way downstairs. He looks
Yep.
and you're
They're
certain.
all-
As certain as we can be. If there are any, they have hidden themselves extraordinarily well.
And will be probably dealt with great prejudice by any of the birds here.
And these birds can fight dragons?
These birds fought and got rid of the dragons.
We cleared the way for them. And then they took care of the rest. They'd been holding their own for centuries before.
And also, they have a particular penchant against those with a less virtuous side.
Yes, I've noticed a couple of them have been gazing at me threateningly. Seems they don't like good questions.
They might not like certain tones of voice.
Well, I've been told I have grading. And as you guys round, I assume, to the crystal room, he looks at the Dragix and he says, "What in any god's name is that?"
That is the dragon's counterpart to the monarch, or was.
Big boss.
It's dead.
I've noticed.
Also, Asho, real quick, Thorn message, just also keep quiet on how the crystal works.
Thorn message back acknowledgement.
And then I assume ping out to everyone else.
Yep.
And once he looks up to the crystal, he says, "Well, that's fascinating."
Yes. Damaged, apparently, by the dragons, but...
No, that's not my concern.
Hmm.
Tell me, has anyone here heard of the Tooth of Ragnar?
I
No.
believe so.
What do you know
What's
of it?
that?
What do I... I believe
Go
it
ahead and
had
roll a history
something
check.
to do with a dragon, didn't it?
It did.
Was that not the place?
It
was.
It was. She's
Okay.
feigning...
Oh yeah, no, just
Not
out of character.
feigning. She's faking, being uncertain. But
Yeah,
yes.
just out of character. I'm making sure I'm thinking of the same thing.
Yes.
Yep, and I am going to have the Inquisitor roll an insight check on your roll.
Do I need to do a deception check?
Um,
History was 10.
We'll see how it goes,
Okay.
and what you do say.
Alright.
When it's something that I think needs a check, I will tell you.
Alright. Right now she's just being vague.
Hold on, I need to go check what his bonus is. 1 sec. And he kind of looks at you and says, "And how do you know this tooth of..."
I think I just heard it somewhere along the way. By that name.
Okay, gonna have you roll deception there.
She did hear it somewhere along the way and by that name. Uh-oh.
Okay, yeah, you can't even pass. Um,
Dear God, what is that?
I will
That's
remind you,
15.
he is also a level 20.
Oh.
And he's called
Oh,
the
Jesus.
She's also literally called the Inquisitor.
I know. I just didn't expect that modifier.
Yep. And he
Jesus.
looks at you and just goes, "If you have anything else, I'd very much appreciate to know this, as that symbol is also noted to be within the Tooth of Ragnar."
Really?
What's the
It
what's
is.
the Tooth
All
of
right.
Ragnar?
So please, if you have more information, let me know.
That symbol was told to me by the monarch upstairs that it represents the parallel nature of planes. How they coexist but don't intersect. As for being within the Tooth of Ragnar, I don't know anything about that. I'm aware that it has something to do with some sort of dragon, but not precisely how. Whether it's the name of a dragon or the name of something that took a dragon down is beyond me. I'm not as well versed in that legend.
Well, I'll at least give you who Ragnar was. Oh, well, not Ragnar, but Gawain. It was the last dragon in the giant dragon war. That is where she laid to rest.
Tooth of Ragnar is where she laid to rest.
In fact, it is her body, yes. It is, for a long time, a symbol of a long-fought peace. As instead of continuing the war, she instead chose to lay down her life and let it end. And
So-
that symbol has been a mystery to scholars for over 6,000. So I do appreciate you letting me know that you were told the answer that we've been searching for.
So that symbol is the Tooth of Ragnar.
No, that symbol is far older than that.
The Tooth of Ragnar is a symbol.
Yes, that symbol. It's known as the Mark of Umara. I'll type that out.
Thank you.
Naturally, we'll go. To be fair, we've got this information from the monarch, so
Yes, and that's why I'm
can't
willing to
exactly
trust
vouch
it.
for complete.
So then, what is the Tooth of Ragnar?
It is the skeleton of a very large dragon, in short.
Out of character, this is
Yes.
the place that Aquarius was at and where we went to find her and kidnap her.
That is what I'm assuming at this point. I'm just curious as to how this came.
Yes,
Yep.
and Rosalind is straight-faced pinging Fane over to Esther and, well, everybody except Ash to do not react. Do not say anything about going there. Do not say anything about the plane of ice.
I'm just
And-
wait, out of character. Why did this come up?
Because the symbol that he sees on the crystal is also said to be a symbol at the Tooth of Ragnar. We don't know anything about that. That is new information to us. But he brought up the Tooth of Ragnar, and we don't want them to know we took Aquarius, and that's where we took Aquarius. So we're not saying anything about it.
I'm not saying shit, but it happened.
But you're asking questions. I'm telling you what happened.
Yes, I know.
Alright. Shut up there. So he turns back towards the crystal, and he kind of starts just marking it down in a small journal of his. And you see the general kneel down and place a sword on the ground and just seemingly pray for a few minutes. And Rosé is kind of standing there very awkwardly.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually, one of your soldiers, Rosalind, walks down the stairs and goes, "Hey, officer! Oh,
Shh.
sorry, am I interrupting anything?"
One moment. And she'll
He's
gesture for
fine.
quiet. Actually, Rosalind will kind of wait a moment, then back out of the room and go off a little distance down the hallway to talk to him.
And she kind of like whisper, goes to like gestures you down to so she can whisper in your ear. We found a clutch of dragon eggs.
What?
They're still alive. The firebirds didn't want to burn young.
Can I see them, please?
You're not
You're
here.
not
This is
there.
whispering in
Rosalind.
Rosalind's ear.
Oh, never mind.
We just wanted to let you know. We're not going to touch them. We're just going to make sure they don't hatch or anything. We'll leave them where they are. Just we got 3 of the men watching it from your squad and 3 from Officer Ashton's squad.
I had a feeling this would happen.
I guess they've been living here for a while. It's more than a couple.
I'll consult with the others, thank you.
Just
Oh no.
And also we found one dragon still captured in some kind of rotating cage. Yeah, it seems to be relatively older, not as old as the big one, but. Do you want us to just let it sit for now? It's trying to get through the bars. It's slowly working.
Wait one moment, I'm going to go and... She looks back at the party, kind of tallies up in her head which ones to leave and which ones to take, if any. Let's see, who to take and who to leave.
I'd say if anything, Rosalind should stay.
Probably.
She has the
Damn it,
she has the
she
best
is the
chance of talking.
diplomacy. Alright, she'll stay there, but she'll, Thorn to Ashta and Ping to, let's say, okay, who's got the best charisma after... Alright, Esther should go because she speaks Draconic. Good point. So does Caius, honestly.
Extra has +1 to charisma, but
Yeah.
nothing really proficient.
Who else has good charisma stuff? Basically, who would Rosalind look at and think, keep with her to do the diplomacy work?
Probably. Maybe Asha?
Yeah, but Ashta, she wants
Ashta
to
has the-
send to do the dragony thing.
I mean, Caius, Esther, and Xenia would be fine, especially with Asha's group there. I only say it because Asha has the insight, and I don't think anyone else has any better or worse charisma.
True, okay.
Also, yes, just get Esther away.
Yes, alright. Esther will be sent to the dragon. Let's see. Should it be Esther, Caius, and Xenia as suggested, or does anybody have objection? Because Rosalind will just ping Fane around if need be.
No objection.
Yeah, who wants to go deal with this crotchety dragon
I
in
mean,
the cage before
Wizard Monk and Cleric's pretty good.
Okay.
The moment Esther hears dragon eggs,
No, she does not hear dragon eggs. She hears
I'm just
crotchety
saying.
old dragon in a cage.
Rosalind,
Trying to
Esther
get
wants
out.
to go do it.
She is not bringing up the eggs at all. The eggs are not part of this. I'm
Yes,
sorry to
we
say it.
know what you're about, despite your willingness to want to blurt things out. Astra goes over, walks over to Z and just passes 2 dragons.
Passes
Doesn't have
to
a fucking
dragon what?
crossbow. Okay.
Dragon
bolts?
slaying bolts.
I don't have a crossbow, but I will take them.
Okay.
Just like a really confused look and
Who
pointing
has
the
that
bow on
+3
their
crossbow?
back.
Me.
Rosalind.
Okay.
Technically, it's not attuned. She can lend it to Xenia since the bolts got passed over, just in case.
Oh, actually, that's a good point. Caius could technically use his darts.
There we go.
Cool.
Like, if they weren't magic, I'd say no, but they're magic, so.
Yeah, when they walk out, then Xenia will just hand them to Caius.
Alright, sounds good. Alright. So she'll
Alright.
send those 3 off and then stay put kind of just at the back of the chamber waiting for the Archdruid to finish with his vigil.
So, as that goes on, Caius... Was it Caius, Esther, Xenia?
Yep.
Okay. You 3 get brought into one of the secret tunnels that the guard drakes were guarding. And one of Rosalind's soldiers shows you towards a cage where the bars rotate as if on like a globe axis, and the floor and ceiling of the cage rotate in a different direction.
Oh, that's
Okay.
trippy.
All right, Xenia, who are you casting tongues on?
Themselves, because they can't
Okay.
speak Draconic.
Okay.
Esther's gonna call out in Draconic. Why are you stuck in there?
You see the dragon turn to you, and there's a vague roar beneath its breath, but this dragon looks very malnourished, especially compared to your little son.
Fat boy.
Yes.
Yeah, Tubbs.
Esther's
He
gonna...
grunts in like this. Roll a quick intelligence check just to see if you can understand this dialect of Draconic. Okay. It's Shakespearean at best. But you get the message along the lines of they were brought here for trying to flee from an unwinnable fight.
Why were you trying to flee?
Because the Firebirds were going to wipe us out and didn't feel like being roasted alive.
Do you have a name?
Do you?
Pardon?
I do. Do you?
My name is Esther.
My name can be given to you once released.
I don't know if they'll allow me to release you.
Then convince them. I just want to leave.
Where will you go if you leave?
Far away where I'm not under threat for my life. See if I can find some land somewhere, another island, anything. Maybe I'll find an underwater archipelago.
Well, we could always take you to the archipelago.
I mean, it was a figure of speech, but if you have a place I could stay, I would appreciate it. What will I owe you in exchange?
You can remain here if you promise not to hurt anything, to cause trouble or start a fight.
I don't believe the other residents will be so accommodating.
Or peace. You've known the size and it looks like you know of this castle. All we ask of you is peace. In that sense, if we let you go.
If you decide upon peace, then you may stay.
I don't think
Or
it
you
wants
may
to
go.
stay, Esther. I don't think it wants to stay.
Yeah, no, it's...
Just peace.
Free passage is all I ask. I will not harm anyone on my way out, as long as they do not fly in front of me and get trampled by my wings.
If you may remain here and not please break out of the bars you've been given, as it's a sense of danger. We will have to do some discussing, but I believe the three of us agree that peace for your freedom would be alright.
Then I suppose I must wait here. If you don't return in a few days, I'll break out myself.
That's a good deal, I suppose.
Need to eat.
Would you like... What do you eat?
Vegetation, meat, whatever I can find.
Esther will
Fish.
go into her bag and pull out some rations and put it through the bars of the gate. Fuck!
And you see your massive head, like its massive head, just like get to the bars and just a single, like it's the size of one tooth, even the food you gave it.
I'm sorry it's not much, it's all I have.
Well, when you have more, I'd appreciate some.
I can bring you some food tomorrow. Keep a spell up. Hopefully to make you enough, and to keep you alive and to keep our peace. That suffice?
I don't have much of a choice, do I?
You have the strength to change the choice, but you have the will to keep the peace.
How old are you? Not you, Xenia. I know that answer.
I know.
Older than you, I feel, Esther. And wiser, too. I'll wait here.
I will come back.
The slight is not appreciated, but I do understand where you come from. And with that,
I will return in hopefully less than a day to bring you food.
I will be here.
I hope as much. Thank you.
Alright. In the meantime, diplomacy squad. Therefore meeting Ross and Nashta.
Yeah, I'm just fingers typing.
Yep, just making sure.
Yep.
Uh.
There has been Thorn pinging back and forth. While we
Yeah, I
just
can see.
wait
I'm
for
catching up on it right now.
quiet. Okay.
Yep.
His last thing is just, again, you're right, but his jump to plant growth was worrying for what we're trying to do.
We made it clear that it wouldn't happen.
I know, it's
At one
not that-
point,
it's not that he's going to
Gertrude
force.
stands back up.
Yep, just real quick. It's not like, I'm not saying he's going to force us. I'm saying there's ways they're going about thinking about things that aren't compatible. Just, we need to talk more. That's all.
We'll just... Bringing about a change of thinking isn't going to be immediate. We have to work at this, and we have to show that it can work.
And I feel the same about this whole island.
Then this is the first step. This is the necessary initial plunge before finding that proof. We have to get people onto it, and we have to get people working at it before it can be anything or get anywhere.
But what if those
Yep.
people don't like what we're doing?
Then they can just be let off at some other cities in the future. We cannot... Ashta, we cannot be completely safe all of the time. You know this.
I know, but bringing on families of 30,
It's not families of 30, it's families, and there's about 30 people altogether.
we can talk once he's gone.
Alright.
And I assume he's doing something now.
Yep, and as he stands up, he kind of settles, and he does seem much more calm, actually. And nods to the Inquisitor, and the Inquisitor kind of looks to you folk and says, "And now I must ask, why no plant growth? Why refuse the offer for food?
We're not refusing an offer for food,
Why refuse the offer for simple food?
because simple isn't always what's best in the long run.
And we don't know. We need to talk to the matron as well. As
Monarch.
still Monarch, damn it. That is the player, that is not the character.
Okay.
Yep, I know.
It's an M word, goddammit, and she's a ladybird. Okay, we have to talk to the Monarch on that as well before we start doing any large changes to the landscape. And taking...
How about the
Especially
ability to create
magical
food?
ones.
You know, the clerical spell, create food and water. Would that be sufficient?
I'm actually not sure. Again, it's powerful magic. It might not change the land per se, but...
We don't want to shake things up, and quite frankly, we don't know how fragile this place holding up can be. Using powerful magic could knock things. We don't. We need time.
It's relatively simple magic. It's been used for hundreds of years.
On firm
floating
ground.
This island's larger than some islands out in the archipelagos, and they use it just fine.
Flying
Regardless,
islands?
No, one's in the water.
Well, there it is, but he shrugs and
one thing to understand is that while we are, I believe, I'm not sure if we can be called equal residents. The monarch is, by her own words, the steward of this castle and island. I'd rather not enact any enormous changes or intense magic.
within the first week at the very least.
Which is why we'd like to take some time to see if it can be done without disrupting anything, if there is anything to be disrupted. Let us play this safe, even if it means playing it slowly.
We understand your want to get people to a proper location of safe haven, but we need time to set up.
My larger concern is our stores of solid food that we don't have to grow. 1 month is a lot. It'd be much simpler if we could just summon it.
And there's a quick Thorn message. Do you see the problem?
Shh.
Yep, and that's it.
Quick Conrad question. Is the
Sure.
summon food and drink thing... I swear that's a cleric spell. Does that mean that it's generally safe from this whole druid magic drawing on inner planes thing?
Roll an Arcana check.
Okay.
Advantage,
I
feign.
know you've gone over this before, but...
Mhm. It's to see how good your memory is.
This is our
Rosalind
Feign,
Anderson.
feign.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, fine. I'll use the feign point, even though I don't like to.
You get it every day.
You get
Yeah.
4 every day.
But it takes time. So 25.
Okay. You would recall that clerical magic is generally considered to come from the outer planes, rather than the elemental planes.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, if you go with the Great Wheel cosmology, it would still be pulling inwards. You don't know how great of an effect it has compared to elemental magic.
Mm-hmm. Huh.
If you go with the framework that doesn't involve the material plane at the center,
Then it's just a separate thing being pulled on.
correct.
Okay. She'll quick Thorn back and say, it might not be as dangerous. And then she'll say, we're going to check with the monarchs just to be certain, but creating food and drink might be safe since it's not changing the landscape or the island itself. It's not altering the fabric that creates this in any way.
Well, if you wish to go ask her, I suppose one of you will have to stay down here, but I believe me and the Archdruid would like to continue to explore.
Actually, this should be fairly simple, and she'll just send Thorn flying up towards the monarch.
Yes, the small dragon.
He's a very helpful little messenger.
Waits there.
Yep, and Thorn, when he gets up there, just gonna bring
nature,
this
the
up
monarch.
with the monarch. Yep. Just the basic gist of the, we're trying not to use, plant growth in the long-term thing, is that apparently pulls on some planes
Yeah.
that, or it might
We want
pull on some
balance.
planes. And we're trying to avoid that. But, does this other spell, pulling on other planes, pose the same potential problem? Keeper of cosmic knowledge beyond any other? Conrad?
Yeah, no,
Attack!
I was wondering when y'all would ask it.
Yeah. We're getting into this.
Yeah.
Let's have it.
Why? That's why we're dancing around the let's not pull on the elemental.
Oh, that's lightning on my end.
Mhm.
Yeah, so the monarch looks down towards Thorn. Again, huge size difference. It's almost comical.
He's a bit bigger, isn't he?
No, he's
No, that'll
tiny
only last
again.
for a minute.
Oh, they won't left off. Okay.
She looks down and says, well, my understanding is that if the material plane is in the center, as I've always understood, that the use of any magic could pull any outer plane. However, I don't feel... I've never observed clerical magic before, outside of Xenia's using. Druidic magic I've seen once or twice, and it seems to pull. I could not say for clerical until I see it.
Alright, then there's going to be a quick question to the Monarch since we're here. Is this pulling of magic something that can be balanced between the planes without just destroying swaths of people on one or another?
If...
This is your telepathy, by the way.
Yes, it is Thorn.
Just in case
Yeah,
the
of
general
course.
got any people out.
Yeah, that's fine. If... Rosalind, I'll be honest with you. I don't believe humanoids could have enough magic to pull planes. I could be wrong. I don't know how many humanoids there are. But they would have to be using an incredible amount of magic.
How long has
For an
the Druid Nation been in control? Centuries?
100 and something years, almost 2 centuries. It was like a puppet before, for about a century and a half before that. But the wizards were still technically in charge. The druids were just very powerful.
Okay. But Rosalind will kind of bring that up just over a long period of time, over a large area of land, repeatedly, and with power.
And near the middle of the wheel.
Well, we don't know if they're near the middle of the wheel so much as the country that this was being done in started resembling the wheel, but basically she's just going to share this information via Thorn to the Monarch, just in case it changes any of that.
And the Monarch says, 300 years is a long time for you folk. For the plains, it's roughly 3 years on your scale. I don't believe that much change could happen in 3 years, but you wouldn't have surprised me before. I have yet to witness their full grasp of magic.
There's just... So perhaps the scholars that theorized this might be overstating the importance, and there's something much bigger drawing on this magic on these planes.
It could be. You spoke of a country or a continent. Are there others?
I don't know of any others, at least none bordering. That's part of the contention in some ways between this nation and others, is that,
You would know there's a country to the southwest and to the east.
Okay. Well, yes, she knows countries. She doesn't know that there are countries that rely on druid magic like this.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Roll a history check.
Sure. I could swear this has been brought up before. 8.
It has. Yeah. None that you can recall.
Okay. Yeah, basically from what I remember as player, that Rosalind's been told before, is that, the immediately neighboring countries do not have this kind of system, and that's what kind of makes, this country, Panacea, that much more powerful. Not just magic, but being able to provide that food and resources and so on.
Yep, that definitely is correct.
Okay. That's the gist of what she's going to share then.
Yep. The Monarch kind of just thinks for a moment and... Well, depending on the systems in place and the population, and I suppose they've been using magic at least to some degree. If they're using significantly more magic than the elemental planes on the material plane, then I guess it is possible. I have felt the pull that druidic magic has, but that's on my size scale. And mine is nowhere near the size of a plane, despite my girth. Wingspan.
No, I don't expect it would be. Alright. So the basic idea then is... It's possible if enough magic is being used on one plane but not another.
It would have to be a difference, yes. If The reason I'm concerned is the other planes are of magic, just as this plane is. Unless the amount drawn on is significant enough as a child pulling on a dog or a small bird, the shift would be nearly unnoticeable.
Hmm.
That's weird.
Well, you've given us a lot to think about.
And if you have more questions, I will be.
Of course, I should probably get back to those waiting for this answer, though. And she'll
Yep.
zoop back and basically relay that she doesn't think that the create food and drink spell will have any effect. And she'll just kind of rephrase some of the pulling of magic on land as if it were about the island. And say that she doesn't think there would be a noticeable pull, but as long as the magic being used doesn't overmatch what is present, we should be fine.
You see the general and the Inquisitor give each other an odd look, and
It's
alright,
a
it's a little-
floating island. We don't know the mechanics.
No, I understand. This is the general speaking. I understand. It's just I've been working a precarious land for 2 or 3 decades now. It's never caused an issue before, but it's your land. I will trust you folk.
Who knows, maybe if we can figure some more things out, it might prove that even other spells might be safe after all, despite altering effects. We don't know for sure, though.
Would you like me to send a researcher team as well on the more arcane and natural magics?
Well, that's a thought. Yep, hello.
Yeah, sorry, I kind of lagged a bit there. Would you like me to send a...
Research team on arcane and natural magics. Which could be interesting. I know it comes from an archdruid, but
Yep.
depending on the individuals on the team, they might be a little bit more dedicated to, hey, actual knowledge, hey, we're proving things that we never thought before, than,
Okay.
oh, it's going against everything we believed is true, burn the evidence.
Mm,
It really
for,
depends.
for
I
one
know.
that but also just outside of that, they're still going to report to him, and when they say, hey, there doesn't seem to be anything about plant growth that would put this island specifically in danger, and we're still going, no, but we don't want to do plant growth though.
We-
What then?
We don't know if the
Feasibly
plant
go
growth thing
both
might
ways.
change. What if what if Aquarius has been misinformed after all, and plant growth is not a great big terrible thing that's going to ruin the plains, and something
And
else
what if-
is doing it?
Oh
We
my
don't
god.
And
know.
okay, Aquarius could. Okay, but here's the thing: Aquarius could be misinformed, and the Monarch could be misinformed. If Aquarius is misinformed, that's all nice and good. If the Monarch's misinformed, that puts us in a bad situation of trying to justify why we still won't do plant growth. That's my concern.
But in terms of odds, I'd say Aquarius is likelier to be misinformed than the Monarch with more
Why?
fame than the Monarch with more fame than sense and more knowledge of the world and magic and how it works.
But
That's what
also
I mean.
probably hasn't been up to date on the world around her in a while since she came here.
All right, so basically
We
we
need
need
to
to
do
buy
more research.
time.
Yes, what I've been saying.
Yeah, but basically a research team could help us with that, but I know what you're saying now with the it might be questionable findings depending on the island and all that.
Also, just the possibility that although the plant growth itself is not a good thing, is that there is something going on that we're even not aware of that would be in line with such a system, would be in line with the druid system of just fucking magic it away, magic the problems away.
Mhm.
There could be something very bad with that, and if we're doing plant growth but not the other thing, that's kind of a weird, like, hypocritical precedent to set. 'Cause
We're
that's the other. It's not just that we don't want to do plant growth to pollute. It's we don't want to do plant growth to show other people not to pollute. And if the plant growth is just part of the larger issue, but people are still okay with the larger issue, that's where it gets messy.
yeah, but we don't know yet.
Yes, we don't know. We need time. We cannot just tell this guy, yeah, sure, bring on people in a day. And he's trying. Keep in mind, he's trying to do what is best for him and his people. He does not have our overall concerns in mind. He has his in mind. He's trying to make a deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I asked for a day. And it
Yep.
was a day to decide, not a day to say, sure, bring them all on.
Yeah, well, it's. Yeah,
I
we need more.
know.
We need more. That's it.
Look, out of character, we have a week.
Yep. It's just, but our characters can only do so much to get more information. It's okay. Long and short of it, I don't like dealing with this guy, and I feel like it could have some pitfalls where we could easily get help and more people from other places, like Orzer and like the Prince.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we're jumping on his ship way too early.
Okay.
We have not talked to other people. We have not figured out other people we can bring on. You're right, it is a possibility, and it's an opportunity to have more people on,
And
but
in-
we could get that from other places.
And in that case, we could just take the day and say, actually, we're going to spend more time scouting the island ourselves to make sure it's safe. We could just spin that and be like, we can't take anybody on right now. We
Okay.
might come back if that
Yes.
changes. That's an option.
Yes, okay. I was concerned it wasn't being considered.
Okay.
I was worried we were wanting to not piss this guy off or wanting to like play nice with him for a while because you brought that up of we might
yeah.
lose the chance if we.
Yeah, that's also a possibility, but if you really want, we can just say, no, we're gonna hold off for a while because we're not sure. We need
Yes.
we need to not take anybody on tomorrow.
Yes, assume this is what Razanash and telepathy had a little bit more, whatever.
I assume it's
No.
more simply put and generally
Yes.
put, yeah.
More simply
Yes.
put in character.
Yes.
Yeah, but we just need to talk that out.
Yep. No, that's all right. Don't worry. Once the general gets a second, you guys will have a chance to talk as a party.
Yes,
Okay.
but it was like not as a party as players. We needed to be like, hey,
Which,
what's this?
which you'll
this,
be able to
this,
bring. Yeah, which you can bring in all the players for.
Yep. Okay. So until now, just need more time. Don't commit to anything. That's That's where we're going with this right now. Is that
Alright.
fair? Other diplomacy person?
Everybody? Yeah.
Okay, then yes.
Alright. Besides, that'll
Alright.
give us time to maybe talk to her dad and Anther and bring on Issa, maybe some others if there's others to help with that process.
Yes, that too. Okay.
Alright, we're good.
So, what was the last thing
I
the
don't know.
general said?
He was asking
It was
about-
sort of just the weird look between them.
Okay.
Okay, and actually kind of looks. Okay.
We're putting the cart before the horse anyhow. We need to think about this. And discuss with the others.
The Inquisitor kind of just sighs and says, "Well, General, I believe I'll leave you here. Rosé, can you bring me back to the island? I have business to take care of. Or to the mountaintops."
Inquisitor says that.
Yeah, the Inquisitor says this.
Okay, that's better.
The general wants to be a kid in the playground for a while.
Yep. Okay, fair enough.
The General kind of nods and says, "You're dismissed. If you folks want to go discuss diplomacy, that's fine. Do you have men who can watch me in the meantime? I want the chance to take a few hours here, at least until Prince Rainier shows up."
We
course.
have business going on right now, just to double check on some things, but we can accompany you for the immediate time being, and until then, we can get you some of the folks we brought along on this mission in the first place.
Yep. And within a minute or two, the dragon diplomacy party would show up. But he kind of nods back. All right, I'm just gonna continue observing this room. What is that? Pool there? Is it just water?
We
I think
believe
it's something
so.
I think it's a altar kind of thing. It's part of the whole ordeal.
Huh, interesting. Do you mind if I look at it?
I've
It's safe to
taken
look
a-
into, right? It's
I've-
looks very reflective.
I've taken a dip. It doesn't go very deep.
Oh, all right. I just want to make sure it's not like Quicksilver or something. He heads over that way.
Actually, I don't think so, but
Don't worry, I'm not going to go drinking the sacred pool. Although I'm a bit parched.
actually, like, tosses him his water skin.
He catches it without even looking back and takes a big swig. Oh, just water. All right. He puts the cork back, tosses it to you.
Asher catches it and puts it away.
Yep. And he goes to the pool and doesn't put his hand in it, anything. He just kind of looks at it. You see him staring at his reflection. Takes off his helmet.
Like
you see-
puts the like finger and the thumb like under the chin. Like, hey.
it's less that. It's more you can actually see him like if anyone looks closer, you see him trying to focus as deeply on his own face as he can. He seems very much out of focus or whatever you guys are doing right now.
Okay, he's spaced off.
A little bit, yeah.
All right.
So around now, we'll say Xenia and
Also,
Esther
Asher
and
will
Pat's
just
turn.
Thorn to Rosalind, just like tell the crystal to not talk with him at all. I don't know what he's trying, but it's weird.
I don't think it will, but she'll relay that to the crystal.
You get an affirmative hum.
All right, you three. Let's go out into the hall. Take him out,
Alright.
and so
Asher calls over one or two of his guards and says, "Stay in here. If he's gonna look like he breaks anything, one of them, one calm him down, the other let us know."
He kind of nods and looks at you and says, how about I just let you guys know, because I'm pretty sure that guy's a lot more powerful than I am.
He talk him down. Don't restrain him.
I will do my best.
He pats him on the shoulder awkwardly and just and walks.
all right. What did all of you find out about that dragon?
Really old.
It just, yeah, and it just
really
wants to.
hungry.
It's pretty much been enslaved because it tried to win an unbeatable fight with the Firebirds. I guess they
Tried to
saw that.
flee from an unwinnable fight.
That's what I said. I said
Is
leave.
that the
No,
story
it
it
tried
told
to
you?
win.
Yes,
Oh, sorry. It tried to leave.
it's wanted to leave for a while. It still wants to leave.
Hey, Asher,
inside.
hold on. Is that what you know, or is that what it told you?
It's what it told us.
Okay. Can we talk to any of the birds and confirm or deny this? I would think some of them would know, especially the monarch.
We could likely, yes. But it is vehement on leaving and says,
Oh, I'm sure he is, considering how everything went. I'm sure he'll say a lot of things to get out of there.
I don't think that we can, with good conscience, unleash a black dragon of at least some age on the world.
Who was working under that Ix thing?
I don't think it's a good idea.
Neither do I. And he's malnourished.
Neither do I.
Likely
malnourished.
would,
Dealt with.
yes, and easy to deal with. But in 3 days, it will break out if there's no decision to let it out.
3 days.
Wonderful.
Do
3
you
days.
not have
what
dragon
is it
slayer
doing?
bolts, Ashta?
I do.
Right,
I have the Dragon's Slayer bolts you gave me.
right
Yep.
now, it's just waiting.
I have a few left, but if it's a older but frailer one, then I have other things I can use.
Right now, it's
But
waiting.
I don't think you'll need it.
We've created a deal with them of if we do let it go, it will keep us in peace, but we're not sure whether to trust it or not.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
I would.
I told them that we'd be back with a decision because it wasn't our decision to make. I personally
Speaking
don't
of
trust it.
which,
If I'm being honest, I don't even trust it.
speaking of
Black
which,
dragon.
on waiting on decisions, we're gonna give some time for the general's offer.
I think a day isn't enough time. for
It's
that.
not.
So as
We
Ash
can
just
get-
said.
We can get people and refugees and farmers and workers from anywhere. I think we should explore the island first, at least before we consider taking people on.
I
Yes,
see
we
where
should-
you're coming from.
It
We
wouldn't
should
be fair to get people and then havoc wreaks out because there was some unknown beast in the forests and everybody
We're not
fucking
gonna get any
dies.
help exploring this without bringing some people on. It's not any
Yeah.
fault of his, but he's concerned about his people. He's not concerned about our dealings. He
We
wants
also,
success for him in the deal.
we also do have our squads.
Yes, but they need breaks.
We can stop by the Citadel and do a rotation, perhaps, with Prince Romy yourself.
And keep in mind, our squads aren't exactly 100%. they're loyal. They're not honor bound, I guess. There could be some who would want to go with what the general says. So
I think we should bring along more trusted people before bringing along anyone else, maybe even including the squads.
But we need people in order to explore, as has been said. We can't do it on our own.
we
Indeed.
can't do it quickly on our own.
It would take weeks.
And
we
frankly,
haven't-
we need to fly south in order to get Caius to the Goblinoid army so that he doesn't have a price on his
Yeah.
head.
I'd rather not have Caius be beheaded.
Yeah.
Well, we
Or attempt to.
So,
Well,
Well-
actually, I may need to ask the monarch that as well. We haven't seen any living things around here besides the firebirds.
If
I think
anybody
she'd be
would
willing
know.
to bring some on.
Well, I'm wondering if she was willing to have any on in the first place.
If that's what just asked.
But I'm not sure if her opinion has changed. It's been how many centuries?
she's willing
If
to
any-
entertain us.
It's not a question of how many centuries. It's has there ever been? Period.
Well, it doesn't hurt
Yeah.
to ask.
Well, she's not been through resets.
Sorry, she hasn't been through.
Resets.
She hasn't been through resets, but this castle was built as it is now. A few thousand years ago.
Yep. All right. Okay. Anyways, okay, we can talk to her about that. Also, of note, they're not just out in the hall from the room. They're like
yeah,
a
no,
decent way away.
I'm assuming that you've taken necessary precautions here.
Yes. Okay. And just he's gonna be like a kid in a candy shop for the next little bit. This has been his white stag for a while, and we just brought it to him on a silver plate.
Yeah.
And we can't have him sniffing around here.
Alright.
We really can't.
Then we have to watch him.
We locked this thing to the pool, right?
He's not going to just come with us. He has responsibilities here. That was part of the deal he offered, was he would leave a team of historians
I
do
know,
the
but
sniffing around.
he let the Inquisitor and Rose go back.
There is
Heads
also
here for a little bit.
A little bit, yes. Not days.
Just how do we politely ask him to get the fuck off?
say that we have to
politely.
head south.
And mention
Yeah,
that we have
so-
business elsewhere, and surely he has business to see to here.
Give him a few hours to
An option-
get his pent-up pardon?
Sorry, just finish what you were saying.
Give him a few hours to... It's like a child. He is currently far too excited to be reasoned with right now. Leave him. Not leave him, watch him, obviously. We
I
don't want
think
to
you're
leave
giving him I don't think you're giving him enough credit. I think there's
He's
some.
He is an intellectual man of his own mind. I understand what you mean, Ashta, but excitement is a powerful thing. If you give him at least a little bit of time to explore, he will be much easier to persuade to, as you said, get the fuck out.
I'm just saying he's an archdruid with archdruid abilities.
And I get that. And he is intelligent, most likely deceptive, and more often than not, probably manipulative. But he's going to be more suspicious if we kick him off right now than, say, give him a little bit of a tour and then kick him off.
Just saying, we eyes on. That is all.
I know.
One
He has to
one
watch.
person nearby at all times.
If anything, it's probably best if you watch him.
Alright, so,
Okay. One last thing. I had a thought. If there's gonna be a turn down at all, either right now or we're basically gonna say we can't do it now, but we might return or something like that. Maybe a good show of will is we could ask if he has anyone who needs transport across the area. We're going all the way to where goblins are, and teleportation magic is out. That's going to be an asset, and we can make sure we keep our little passengers in a certain area. They're not going digging through stuff, and they're not meant to live. They're going to be here for a few days.
Perhaps
It's a
not
good
even that
idea.
long, given how quickly this moved.
That too.
But yes, that's a thought. All right. What would that be in exchange for?
I don't know.
Because he is then getting troops transported. We would be getting what?
That's what I didn't think of anything past that. It was just an option we could do as we're on that way anyways.
Food supplies?
Conjured supplies for, yes, the soldiers who would be coming with us, who we are, if they are willing to come, we could put on scouting duties over the island. Exploration. Reporting back.
He nods.
And
Maybe
if any of
some
them,
extra equipment too.
Mhm. If any of them have families who would like to make a permanent move, spouses, children, perhaps
Okay.
that could be a start.
We're cutting it off at spouses and children's, maybe a parent or two. We're not having every aunt, uncle, grandfather,
God,
and grandmother
no.
coming along.
Of course, no.
We're in
No.
a dwarven capital.
Oh, I
And
know.
also,
Very
dwarves
immediate
have
families, if
large
need be.
families.
We don't need three elderly dwarves having heart attacks on this place.
I'm sure they'll understand. And we'll
They
make
can
it
have
clear.
heart attacks elsewhere.
However,
I don't think that's the.
we should hold off on bringing this to the Archdruid's attention just yet. Give some time, and basically as if we're considering it in full. Which we are, and we have, but with more time.
So, who wants to go and ask the monarch about the domesticated animals?
Well, Xenia, wasn't that your idea?
Indeed, or just any wildlife around here.
Well, then I think it's only fair that you get them
Ashley
first.
puts up a finger. Can we get sheep?
Why?
We have talking dogs who can round them up.
We have one
Yes.
talking dog, but that is a good thought.
We have 2. And
Sheep?
several puppies.
There's one
No,
that
only
speaks
the
and
dad
then
can talk.
several puppies.
Oh.
But dad can talk to puppies in dog speak.
Ask him for sheep then. Or
See-
livestock
see
and
if-
supply.
Yes, that would be another thing that I wanted to bring up, but we kept overriding it.
Mountain sheep, high altitudes, that would work better.
If they can be provided. And keep in mind that if we ask for livestock, we need to be able to take on somebody who can take care of the livestock. We've got soldiers who are going to be scouting, not taking care of sheep and goats unless they have family members capable of doing so. So,
Alpacas are also very good for high altitude.
let's ask our men first.
But then also, yes, ask our men if they have any husbands or wives who can wrangle sheep and llamas.
Alpacas.
What's the difference?
Mm.
Or spit.
Okay.
To be fair, that probably does generally summarize the Genasi knowledge of an alpaca.
Esther doesn't fucking know. She's heard it from her mom's ex. That's all.
Yeah, that was the thing. I was like, it's not that Ashton wouldn't know. It's okay. What do you know?
I don't know. I was just told they had long necks. Like,
You're mostly
long
on
necks,
point.
Like, taller than you long necks, which isn't really saying much, but like,
She's gonna bring out
long
a fucking giraffe, I swear to God.
I was gonna say, are you,
No, I don't
okay.
think.
What color are they?
Well,
white, I think?
How thick is their fur?
Hold on,
I
Xenia?
don't know.
can we
What?
bring an aside of the alpaca llama debate? But speaking of livestock, I don't think, as once a druid, we shouldn't have anyone here without having a farm, without having and knowing it can flourish and give a population.
Here's the thing,
I'm not sure.
without plant growth, we cannot have a farm up and running in this amount of time.
No, but okay. We don't need a whole farm. We need seeds.
Hold
in the
on,
ground.
hold on.
We need possibility that something can grow. We know we're not going to use plant growth, but we don't know if this earth can even grow anything.
Also,
Anything
GM,
we
hold on.
know how to
Hold
grow.
on, Devin. She's not done.
Oh, okay. I thought you were trying to interject
No, no,
there.
Ty's not done. Hold on.
Yeah,
I honestly don't trust civilians being on here. I don't trust that archer as much as I can fucking throw him. I'd rather have
Yes.
people we trust on here before, and rather have the knowledge that something can grow on here and that things can live on here, including ourselves, before we continue on with this.
I agree with Xenia.
I don't like this. I don't like where we're going with talking to the general, especially because he's getting excited. And excitement creates irrationality. And we don't need irrationality right now.
I feel like I'm the only person here who isn't completely paranoid sometimes.
Okay, listen.
But, alright.
You were body swapped. Ashta has a double. Everything in this world is trying to kill
That's
us.
not the reason I have trust issues,
yes.
but we need
Yes,
to
sir.
know this land is sustainable.
Also, just Rosalind, just remember, we're shifting a big part of this world, of this country. You saw how quickly he was to wonder and ask and just be absolutely confused about why we didn't just magic the problems away. How easy it was. That's the thinking we have to go against. And I'm not saying we're paranoid in terms of malicious intent all the times. I'm saying I'm paranoid about people trying to do what's best for them and that causing problems for us.
And that is what I meant when I said paranoid.
Well, then call me paranoid, but
I did.
we need a bit of it if we're doing what we're doing. We could end up on that guy out sitting having a great time in that room right now. Could be the end of one of our swords in a few months. We don't know how people are going to react, but we can't have people on the island having an uprising. You're right, we need people now, but if more than half the people leave and we're left unsustainable, then it was a waste of time.
Alright. Alright. If we can find a way to make sure that those who come on would come on with this knowledge without giving them this knowledge so that they can run back if they dislike the knowledge, then I'm all ears.
I'm not going that specific.
Mm.
I'm saying bringing people on who are under him. That's my concern.
The refugees are not under him. They fled
But
Peduncle.
they're the ones who went. But they're the ones who went to him because they're the ones he has to give.
They might just be the ones that found cities before, filled up, and kept walking until they hit here.
Okay. The other thing, Peduncle was bad. A lot of people are put out in a bad way. A lot of people were used to what Peduncle was. What Peduncle was a city grown from the ground with nothing but druid magic.
And if you're going to rule out every single refugee from Peduncle, there are none left.
I'm not saying that either. We need to be careful. Rosalind, I know we sound like crazy people with red tape on a corkboard. I'm bringing up the concerns we have and we have to keep an eye on. I'm not saying we stop and drop everything right now to take care of them, but it's something we need to know and put out there for times going forward.
I'm not saying that you sound crazy. None of you. I'm just a little bit worried that these worries are going to immobilize us.
I get it. Just I'm worried that the lack of them will as well, and we need to find the balance in between that. Like the Monarch seems to like.
Actually, if also you don't mind, before we take anyone on, I believe even our journey south and west will risk civilian lives, and we don't need that right now.
Quite possibly. We can bring that up.
So if we're okay.
Alright. So our plan currently is to head south and west towards the goblinoids. To
After
aid their
playing
army.
nice with our druid in our base right now.
Yes. So, we will defer taking on any of his soldiers or refugees in a permanent capacity until after we have dealt with that at the very least.
Before we
Perhaps
go
other
out,
business.
before we go out, we need to talk to the prince and your father. See what options they have too.
Yes, the prince we can
Because if-
contact now. My father, unfortunately, if I'm going to have an in-depth conversation, is going to have to wait until tonight.
But if they bring us a good offer, that could also just be an out for turning him down with grace, let's say.
Yes. And who knows? Perhaps as we deal with the problem in the south, I happened to contact my father and find out that there was need there, and we happened to be in that area.
Alright, around there.
Mhm.
You'd get the general kind of like walk around the corner, and your soldier Ashta being basically like grabbed by the shoulder and led along. It's like, sorry, he was trying to stop me from interrupting you guys, but figured you should know Prince Rainier is waiting for permission to land.
Well, I suppose we might as well grant it. Is he
Alright.
by the front door as well? Do you know?
No, it seems like he was harassed by the smaller firebirds and brought in front of the monarch for being interesting,
fuck.
is how he put it.
Oh
Ah.
dear. Well, he'll be fine. Perhaps a little bit surprised by the monarch, but fine.
I expect so.
Well, are you satisfied with the
finding-
time you've taken?
I wouldn't mind another hour or so. I'm kind of just fascinated by that Mark of Umara. I know I've seen it somewhere else other than the text about the Ragnar. I'm just trying to figure it out. Do you mind if I cast a small ritual? I know just for finding information. It doesn't affect the area around. It's just for my own knowledge.
Identifying it?
One
Not identify. Legend lore.
Can we all arcana to know about that?
All of you can roll Arcana. Esther, go ahead and roll with advantage.
I think I have that spell.
25.
Okay, yeah. Don't worry then. Rosalind knows it.
Never mind.
Shouldn't be an advantage, but same thing.
Yep, Rosalind, you would know that it's a decently strong spell, but it has a bit of a high component cost.
Mhm.
It's probably what Orzer used when he first found out information about Jack.
Okay.
It gives you the basic rundown and legends surrounding an item or a symbol.
Alright.
And it's all like he basically be getting the information that hypothetically.
Specifically about the Mark of Umara, though, not about Jack.
Okay, but it's still like public quote unquote knowledge stuff.
Of anyone who has the monetary value and the ability to cast a spell, yes.
Okay.
And basically it's like she'll go, and indicate to the others somehow that, feign or otherwise, that they've seen auras or cast this, it should be alright, she would think.
Alright.
Yeah,
And
I
she'll
know
just
the
say
spell.
out loud that I believe that should be alright. It won't
Alright.
leave any traces or residue there. Just
Of course not.
be careful with any interference.
Yeah, for sure. Would you mind asking the monarch if it's alright to do it in the tomb? I don't want to step on any feathery toes. I don't know. I feel
I'll
wiser here.
We'll head up and speak with Ronair. In the meantime, I'll ask the monarch and send Thorn down with the verdict.
Alright. And, Asher the soldier's here, right? He's still holding the soldier by the shoulder.
He looks and is like, yeah, that's put him down.
I'm not. Oh, sorry. Just as a general statement, I don't like people trying to stop me from moving. Tell him not to throw a hand in front of me next time, please.
And he just kind of nods like, yeah, we just, like I said, not everything's cleared out. We don't want people wandering is all.
Understood. I just, general mindset. When I see a hand coming towards me, I freak out.
Understandable.
Appreciate it, though. I'll remain here until I get Thorn's message.
We'll try to be expedient.
No rush. I don't mind enjoying just the presence of this place.
Then enjoy. And she's gonna head towards the stairs. Thorn ahead to kind of throw the question at the Monarch. Legend lore, okay, in that sanctuary area, not gonna be a problem. Assumably the answer is yes, and...
Yeah, the answer is fine. It's burning incense and using ivory strips. It's
Yep.
easy enough spell.
Didn't think so, but it's like, we had to put on the show.
Yeah.
It's the thing where the customer says, can you ask the manager, and you know the answer, you know what
Yep.
the answer's gonna be, but you go ask anyway, just so they're happy.
Cover your own
Okay.
ass.
Yep.
Yep.
Alright. So having asked the manager,
Yep.
head upstairs and see what state Prince Rainier is in.
You know, I'd remember what to refer to her much better if we changed it to the manager.
I'll accept it, whatever you want. I'm gonna call her Monarch. You can call her Manager if you want.
The archer comes in and is like, hi, can I speak to your manager?
Oh my god, it's Karen! Fuck!
Now I gotta change the one archer to its name. Damn it. Alright, so you come up and you see... It's almost comical how he looks. You see Prince Rainier astride a Pegasus, standing in front of a rather large bird who is very keenly looking at him. And they both turn to you as you enter the courtyard. And Prince Rainier, with his sister, looking huge and scary on the back of the Pegasus, looks at you and says, "Oh, hello! Do you mind telling this bird that I'm to be trusted, please?"
Ah, good,
I
you've
should-
met.
They burst out laughing.
Asha looks
Monarch,
over.
This
What? Oh, sorry.
Monarch, this is the Prince of the land below.
Why'd
The
you believe
princess.
he's not to be trusted?
That is a good question.
She kind of looks, she says, "Oh, it's not that. I haven't seen this large hooved creature before." And you see she looks a bit nervous around it.
Oh, a Pegasus.
Oh,
From my understanding, they're harmless. Oh, you should meet
I-
our horse.
Asha like does like a hey Lucy.
What
Yep,
about
then
our horse?
immediately, like, behind the Monarch, it's like, "Yes, boss?"
Oh, maybe not behind
You see,
the bird.
you see the Monarch, like, flutter about 10 feet into the air and whip around.
Feathers ruffled.
Yep.
We
and-
have a horse.
Lucy looks at you and says, what is a horse?"
Oh no.
There's a quick Thorn message over her of just like, okay, she's not infallible.
So,
Lucy, a horse is more or less what you are built as, for the most part.
Oh no, this is the Monarch asking.
Oh, okay.
No, exactly. It's like more feign than sense. What's a horse?
Yep, okay. Well, how to explain this, and we're just gonna try to explain horses as pertaining to Lucy and Pegasus and the differences from actual horses.
Prince Renner's doing his best to help. It's all around a confusing situation. You notice that, like, a bunch of firebirds are, like, watching, like, the peanut gallery all in the crenellations.
Asha brings up the fact that their legs are more like very large fingers.
oh, fuck! I hate
And-
that.
You hear Azkair from the thing in your mind go, or not your mind, Rosalind's mind go, "Should we add fingers or something?"
Please don't.
They're more useful than talons.
Thumb superiority. Anyways,
You don't have
anyways.
horses on your island?
No.
clearly.
I remind you, Esther, this island has been inhabited by the same creatures for millennia.
Any
What kind of
smaller
creatures?
creatures?
Smaller ones, yes. Well, smaller than us.
Like
But-
what?
No, we have a number of fish, some rodents. I think the word that you folk use is a stag?
Oh dear.
Esque?
Oh,
Similar, yes. Much
Okay.
larger.
Oh, very
Larger
good.
than that.
Moose?
Yes, but bigger.
Dire moose?
big boy moose!
I suppose that would be a word. Really, all the creatures here would be dire blank. We're
Oh.
all relatively large here.
What about wolves?
Wolves? Yes, we have canine creatures, but not necessarily wolves. They're more like jackals.
How tall are they?
She puts out a wing about 4 feet off the ground.
Ah,
Okay.
so shorter than Ashta. That's good. That's a very good reference.
I am standing directly next to this. You're not even trying.
And she kind of just looks around and says, Yes, they're relatively peaceful, mostly herbivores. It's what the dragon mostly fed on.
Okay. We're a bit off track though. Um, Prince, nice to see you.
He nods back and says, "Yes, I assume monarch, I believe you called, as one monarch to another. I can be trusted. I'd ask to shake your hand, but I
Is it
don't
because?
think
Are you wondering about him because he's got, and he kind of like taps the side of his head.
Yep, and the bird kind of nods and be like, "Oh, yes, I just we're from a different source than you folk. That's all."
Yeah, I think we're all from the same source, if a few steps between people.
I'll find it from the same if you go enough steps back, but understood.
Okay, I guess, relatively. But, this is Prince, and as far as we're concerned, he's to be trusted.
Well,
If he's a bit, even if he's a bit, eccentric.
strange. Yes. The prince kind of nods and says, I will leave my Pegasus here for you to observe and entertain Lucy. I still don't know why you call that thing Lucy.
It's an
and
archangel from a while ago, just...
it's male.
Lucifer.
Ah, wait, isn't that... Anyways, nice to meet you, Monarch. I will see you another time when I go to leave, I suppose. And he kind of steps off and follows you guys. That was the weirdest thing I've ever noticed.
Welcome
I think
to
she
our
feels the
lives.
same way about you.
No,
Or,
yeah,
or at
that's
least your
fair.
horse.
Yeah, she's not the first, but definitely the largest.
By the way, where do you get a Pegasus?
That... This is gonna make me sound horribly entitled, but from my dad.
It does, just a little bit.
A bit.
Okay, where does your... are they bred, or are they
Um,
found?
We have a stock of Pegasus that are royal steeds. Mostly because we need to talk to Citadel, and that's how we get up.
I guess that makes sense.
We
just
can always
kind of-
message, but, you know, it's easier.
Mine just kind of apparated, so I was curious.
I don't even want to know the story behind that.
You don't.
You found the castle.
Obviously.
How?
So it would seem.
We were
How did you get it moving?
We were teleported here.
How did you get it moving?
With
Magic?
the wonderful skills of some of our squads and the people you see before you here.
Huh.
In a single word, magic. It tends to cover quite a lot.
Understandably so.
Think of it as needing a lamp that needed oil.
I explain why I'm so dim right now.
Regardless.
Well, congratulations. I mean, I heard the Archdruid is on here. I hope he's not offended that I haven't come to say hello yet, but...
No, he is very happily ensconced in a chamber below, and I believe meditating? Something
Oh,
similar.
it's probably good. He's been excited about this place for a while.
So we've heard.
So, congratulations. Would you... my first instinct is throw a feast, but I take it that's not your guys' first.
Unfortunately, we have some business calling, but we have some business we'd like to talk with you.
Oh, for
I
sure.
mean, if you can give us food supplies, that would be nice.
Oh, absolutely. We, unlike the
Putting the
Druid,
cart before the Pegasus here, sir.
to be fair, Pegasus only need the cart to be below them. It doesn't really matter which direction. But yes, we can supply you with some food. I'm more than happy to. You've got our soldiers on board anyways, assuming they plan to stay with you.
Yes,
That was part of what we wanted to talk to you about.
that matter needs to be discussed with them, and you being here would probably aid in that endeavor.
Most likely. Should you collect them, or do we need something to discuss beforehand?
Just a bit beforehand, I would think.
Alright, I'll let you lead the conversation then.
A couple of them are on escort duty for the Archdruid just to make sure he doesn't need anything. In the meantime, I can gather up at least representatives of each squad. I'll have Thorn do a fly around.
Oh, sure. And while they come here, what did you need to discuss privately?
Well, are we in a private setting?
Easily enough, you can go to one.
So you're aware
As
of
always,
our,
there's firebirds flying around, but...
So you are aware of our concerns with the way things are gone about nowadays?
Specifically the government and its ruling factions, yes.
Yes. this could be an opportunity to have a sort of base of operations and society removed from the trappings of the government.
I assumed as much.
However, first we need to thoroughly explore this area, which is part of why we would hope that some of the squads, if not all of them, might be willing to stay on and do so. And then settling it.
Apparently there are dire
Is-
mooses, so a bit
is
of extra
between-
muscle wouldn't help.
Well, that is between you and your squads. I can always discuss with them as well, but ultimately they follow you by choice, not by my command.
Yes, but they're still your people, so having your blessing is...
It's not my decision who immigrates and emigrates, but I will give my blessing to them if they need. Is there a request you have of me? Or is it other than that? I mean, I'm always... I'm more than willing to help a new, separate organization start growing.
On that, well, for such an endeavor, we would need more than simply soldiers.
I would agree.
However,
we're not ready to take on civilians just yet unless they are very ready and willing to face any risks.
and on that,
Have you met a dwarf? They're willing.
No.
And as well,
but their wife and kids.
those are the ones I imagine will be willing.
Exactly.
I might want to offer as well. You know, roughly, the capabilities of those in the Citadel. As well as our very efficient population, isolated. We can help. I'm not going to try to force anything, but at least I would like to send a few diplomats for mine, who would be our representatives of the dwarven population, of anyone we do send, and our soldiers as well. Just to establish some kind of diplomatic connection.
Astra kind of nods like, that's understandable.
They do.
But-
I know you'll say they're dwarves, but they would understand it would be probably rough living at first.
Absolutely, yes. These are more so... They would be working and living as anything else, but they're better suited for leading any small families who would be living here, as they can speak both Dwarven and Common, as well as a number of other languages that not everyone can speak.
Hmm.
And they also have the ability to message me as needed, although they don't know that we have a more direct connection.
And also, we have a willingness, but not a abiding by politics.
Understood. This is more for there to be the avenue if needed. As things get more complex, I imagine our discussions won't be as civil, and these diplomats will be a go-between between both of us.
But also that part of the reason, I speak more personally, but part of the reason such things that happen have ended the country in its current state is things like government tape and concerns back and forth and specifics and doing absolutely what's best for just one particular people rather than a larger effort.
And
There is
they will act as citizens upon this land just as anyone else. What their purpose... Maybe an embassy would be a better word. So
I
any
think that would be.
dwarves who had a concern to bring up to you would have someone to go to speak more diplomatically than an angry farmer might.
That is much more digestible.
I assumed as much. I apologize about the incompleteness of what I was saying. Common is my fourth language.
That's fine. Just I've grown tired of certain brands of bureaucracy.
As have I, which is why my concern is the citizens.
Now another thing is, as a removing of ourselves from the way the current operations are run, we are doing our best, our very best to avoid any magical enchantments that can bring life from the ground, any instant startup farms or things like that. Spell plant growth specifically, but other manners of ones as well.
Oh, you'll be happy to know our population that if it does use magic is typically arcane, as many of us are holdouts from the previous government. I believe, as far as I know, in the Citadel we have about 6 capable druids total, in a population of roughly 1 million.
Now, I guess another thing then is an inevitability we face is dealing with those who are from the government we seek to deal with. There are a lot of refugees from Peduncle.
And I'm sure that once you have an established, for now I'll use the word colony for lack of a better word, an established colony of non-druidic citizens, I imagine it'll be much easier to digest the fact that their way of life may not be the only one.
That is very much what I was thinking. But just simply for those you send over, if there's any with perhaps personal hang-ups with that way of living and people who might be coming from it, just keep that in mind.
I will bring only those I trust best. Thankfully, we don't have many who are willing to openly denigrate the Druidic government, considering they are, well, so far our sole diplomatic partners.
For the time being.
For the time being. But as things evolve, I will do my best to keep those in line and replace any you need me to replace.
Asha looks at the group. Anything else?
I don't believe so. I think we just need word from the soldiers who came with us to find out who's willing to continue on in this capacity and who has family they'd like or be willing to bring on, however limited.
Also, keep the family direct ties. We don't need every aunt, uncle, and grandfather.
We know. I'll make it clear.
Oh, no, he's telling you.
Prince kind of nods and says, I understand your reservations, believe me. I once tried to, invite a dwarven friend of mine to bring his family with him.
Oh,
And instead of serving 20 people, as I expected, I ended up serving 300. So I definitely understand your concern.
do you not have a large family?
I do, but compared to these dwarves, no, I do not.
Understandable.
If I recall correctly, the average family considers itself to have 76 members.
Dear gods.
So I will make sure they parse it down quite a bit.
That's very
Direct children and spouses.
Mm-hmm.
Not the children's spouses, but the children do not live on their own. Who cannot live on their own, not do not live on their own.
The children
Yeah.
who are currently unattached,
Yes.
who are
Though I will warn you.
themselves unmarried or have no children themselves.
Correct. Though I will
Um,
warn you. Given time, they can be like mice.
Given time, however, we
Asha
might
like
have
pushes
this
down
place-
pushes down a certain someone in his front pocket.
we might have this place at a state where it can support more people.
I
With
expect
any
so.
luck.
All right,
And-
I'll go see if they've gathered up. I think.
But
they will.
maybe have an alchemist too.
Oh, there will be craftsmen for sure.
But if that concern that you've brought up exists, then maybe an alchemist.
An herbalist may be more appropriate, but yes.
Or yes, good enough.
Yeah, we have, most of them have a trade of some kind. I'm sure you'll find the dwarves very industrious for this new hospitable land.
One more thing on that note. Are there any, I guess, trades or professions you have a more surplus of?
Stonemasons.
Ones we should expect
Uh,
more of?
Those who work in metallurgy, not necessarily blacksmiths, but any kind of metalwork. Most can turn their hands.
Do
Home
you
builders.
Well, frankly, we need a surplus of those.
Yes, and I will make sure I bring the more inventive farmers, those who aren't stuck in the ways of only the they know.
that
Yes.
would be good.
And until they can get to any farmland that might be viable up and producing, perhaps some livestock, if any have, things that can
Do you-
produce milk and cheese and so on.
Do you have anywhere underground?
There is
Yeah.
Most of our livestock do not like the sunlight.
There are caverns beneath the castle, though we may have to do some creative coordinating to make sure that they stay in caverns and not wander into the areas meant to be further inhabited. In
We can
addition,
build pens.
we need to more thoroughly sweep down there to make sure there aren't any dragons hidden in nooks and crannies that we've missed.
Or there's an underground cave system that we're on.
Yeah, we haven't explored that fully.
Oh, they'll be explored, I promise you.
Let's wait.
Some of them will.
Let's wait until we've done that before we start sending livestock in there.
Communicate that to the children that get brought up.
That too.
That's a good idea.
Anyhow, and she'll go
And,
out and see if squads are.
Yep, and as the squads get collected, he's going to just turn to Estercine and Kai. I do want to make sure that you three are alright as well. I know you have your two diplomats, but I work with citizens and civilians just as much. Is there anything you think I should know and watch out for?
Well, what do you think?
Probably just don't antagonize the birds. That's pretty easy though.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
main thing.
We're not too proficient with diplomacy, but don't piss off the birds.
I imagine they will
Yeah.
learn rather quickly not to, but I will let
This
them know.
is yeah.
Don't
This
don't
is
piss
this
off
is
the
their
birds.
home first and foremost.
And the grave, resting
There's a
place
tomb.
downstairs.
Oh, the
Yeah.
one beneath the castle?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
don't mess with that.
Alright. The castle, I believe, will be left to who you let inside. I think they'll be staying mostly in the
Mhm.
village. Well,
Would you
town?
We can wall places off if need be, or at the very least, have like
Would you? Sorry, keep going.
yeah, it's just the places we could just put off limits, and it's like, hey, you know,
I should put this
There-
hand up just for
just-
when people are done.
yeah, just let it.
Sorry.
Just let us mark out all the off-limit places, and then we should be good to go for whatever civilians need to inhabit here.
Very
Not
well.
too many, obviously, but yeah.
Alright.
And potentially, do you think that obviously this castle and the village is not built for people of our size, let alone dwarven size? Do you think that they would be comfortable with repurposing already used material?
Oh, I'm sure they'll be experts at it. We're from beneath the mountain. We don't have many resources to spare.
Mhm.
Alright, good. Just to make sure.
Yes, we are quite resourceful when needed. And, Xenia, you've been mostly quiet.
Just probably don't piss off the birds. Don't desecrate the grave as much as it's already may have been.
Alright.
Asha just puts the hand up.
Yes. Sorry, Ashta.
Two maybe specific requests if you can find any. If you come across any, like, I guess, specialized individuals. Anyone who has experience with birds.
You will find very few beneath the mountain, but I will try.
Yeah, just again, just broad statement, by no means. And anyone who might specialize in giant stoneworking and like giant architecture.
Oh, that's most of our stoneworkers. We have a number of, we're called the Citadel because we grew on top of a number of old giant citadels beneath the ground.
Oh, then having the castle have a few specialists in line for how to repair it and make sure it doesn't come down on us was probably a fairly easy pass then.
Also, Ronir, I wanted to speak to you about potential alliances, trade routes.
gives a glance. Like, in regards to what, might I ask?
We had been talking earlier about the potential of opening routes between my tribe and his.
Oh,
Right.
the Genasi in the
Yeah.
desert.
Yes.
Okay.
Dear Esther,
Sorry, I was wondering about trade routes on an island. Continue.
dear
Just
Esther,
if you ever have free time.
of course, I think let's get the dwarves up and settled and make sure you have something to trade first, unfortunately.
No worries.
But I will keep it in mind. And when you do bring those who speak for the Genasi, if you don't mind introducing me, I haven't as much contact as I would like to.
Oh, they'd be very interested to meet you.
I imagine they would, and I myself them as well. I believe your men have gathered, though.
Yep, basically just bring up with the men and have them spread it to those who's still on guard duty below. It's not
Yep.
something they have to decide immediately. However, should we say by the end of the day they should decide at the very least if they want to go on and do the scouting missions while we zip over to Pinel?
By tomorrow morning, are you getting off right now, basically?
Yeah. And they don't need to bring anybody on by tomorrow morning because we could just come back. But that's something to discuss with their families and consider and so on and so forth. And we set those restrictions.
Yep. The general consensus, kind of brought together by some of soldiers, is that each dwarf will write a letter, as most of them are from the same families. And whoever of the people who are allowed to come onto the island wishes to come up upon receiving the letter will be brought up via Prince Rainier's capabilities.
Okay.
And basically whoever's ready by tomorrow morning will be on the island, whoever is not will...
Yep. And basically that priority one is going to be fitting... I'm assuming the priority one is going to be fitting either another room in the castle or two to house everybody, at least temporarily.
Yep.
And
Maybe
and then also scouting especially the village, but also the lake and forest and areas.
yeah, maybe what's the mail term for making it go fast? Like the mailing.
Expediency? No.
Yeah, expedite. Yeah,
Yeet
maybe
mail.
expedite finding
No.
some of the builders and like experts on giant architecture.
Yep. And actually, most of Rosalind's men,
Oh yeah.
and actually probably some of probably some of Esther's as well. They both mentioned that's either their expertise or something they've at least studied passively.
That's them. So they can actually get a head start on it potentially.
Yeah, so it's between this session and next.
Yeah.
I will let you know who comes aboard by the next morning.
Mhm.
I will let you know, and I will let you guys decide where you tell your squads to start working on.
So just an out of character thing we need to talk about spreading that gold among them too.
Yes.
Yep. But again, that can be done after session, because I believe with that being sent out, Prince Rainier going to deliver the information, the last thing before we end the session is going to be speaking to the general. Unless anyone has anything else they want to bring up to with Rainier.
Not to Rainier, but to the group.
Sure.
I know we were talking about bringing, the whole thing about bringing trustworthy people and stuff like that on into the village to work and stuff like that. I still will remind them that her tribe is a good option for people like that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all I just kind of wanted to remind. That's
All right.
Asher will go. It is a good option, but keep in mind the potential culture and language barrier there. Dwarves working with other people from Peduncle might be a little easier than ones who might be used to a more nomadic lifestyle.
No, I understand that. But it is an option if you want people who will, in a sense, be on your side.
Yeah,
I'm just
I
putting it
understand
out
what you
there.
mean. I understand what you mean, and I'm just putting up a there's going to be drawbacks to everyone.
No, of course. I completely understand that. I'm just trying to help, I guess.
And
Although having the prince on board would probably help on that front too.
and as well, Pinal is pretty close to the desert too.
Yep.
So.
It's also pretty close to Anther, and where
Correct.
Peduncle used to be. So, we've got a lot.
Quite a few options. So, as the groups disperse, the letters are written. Prince Rainier brings basically a case of letters with him, as well as one or two people to deliver it to the proper families. The general comes up, looking not quite smiley and bubbly, but you can almost sense like this kind of like peacefulness to him. And he kind of looks at you all and says, "Sorry, is now a good time to finish speaking?"
Yeah, I believe it
Yes,
is.
you look rather.
Content.
You've you've done a lot for me. Let me come here.
We've got your white whale for you.
More so, you help me find what might be my far distant ancestor.
I wonder.
The form of
Jack.
Jack.
Mother always raised me, telling me that we came from the line that ended the giant dragon war. We're some of the first people to settle the new land afterwards. I didn't believe it until I found such a kinship down there. Thank you for letting me come there.
I'd say you're living up to the lake.
And I try not to let that compliment go to my head. But have you reached a decision? And assuming you're willing to let me come back, I don't need an answer today.
We've
I think
been given.
we're going to have to defer that decision longer than the single day I initially said.
We've been given some new information and require some time and some setup.
But in the meantime, we'll be able to have those that came with us scout out the area, see if there are any dangers, see if this area can be built up properly into something that can feed and shelter others in turn. However, in the meantime, we do have to travel away from this area as well. There's pressing business for one of our party in the south.
Understood. Would it be alright if I gave you an offer of a gift, at least?
We'd have to ask in what form.
Very simple one. Rose has expressed interest in helping, as well as one or two of the enchanted stones that let you travel from the air to the ground. She's able to command them, she's able to heal people as needed, and she's in formalized training to be a military engineer, so she's able to help out outside. If you would have her, she said she's willing and excited to come here, and she trusts you guys. Apparently from when you helped out with the elementals.
Yes, Asha looks at the group. I speak for myself, but I would think that would be reasonable and accepted.
Yeah.
I'm on board.
It's alright.
I suppose so.
Asha goes, look, do you... And quick Thorn over. You seem hesitant.
Thornback, I'm surprised you agreed so quickly. That's all.
We know her, we can talk to her, and it's one person.
I suppose.
And we need something off the bottom. But we will keep an eye on her. She did come up here directly with him. I'm not convinced it's just pure camaraderie from our history.
There you are. All right.
He smiles and says, "Alright, when you do happen to, this sounds so strange. When you happen to fly into the area, just let me know." And,
More of a float, really.
Yeah, I really don't know how to handle this right now. It's quite a lot. Can I give a potential piece of advice for those who do settle here eventually? Or who to look for?
Hardy
ahead.
people who can manage these strange circumstances?
Well, people who can fly. And who are always looking for a new place. How familiar are you with the Southwest?
The Southwest. Are you referring
Of
to the wrong side of the map? The
Drifting
sinking
Isles, the swamp.
lands?
yes, Isul. Um, a number of the people who live there are Kakra and those who can fly. And as well, I know that they've lost quite a few lands, quite a few homes, as there's a number of sinkholes degrading the city. So you'd find lots of willing people who'd be, I assume, a great help to have there.
There's
Just
a quick thorn over. And
do be aware, however, there's a relatively high crime rate due to the difficulties in the city.
Asher nods like, I'm sure I can, I have experience.
In that case, I leave you with that advice. I believe my ride is here.
Ash also just quick thorn message over. There could also be a number of people who are discontent with the druid's inability to fix their sinking lands.
Mm-hmm.
Potentially.
Alright, and with that, you see two of the enchanted stones flying towards you guys. On one of them, Rose, and on the other, the dwarf with the Pop-Tart. He waves at you guys, and
Can we just call him like Raz for raspberry?
sure. I don't give a shit.
Raz.
Saves me coming up with the name.
His name's Rasputin, but everyone calls him Raz.
I'm not calling him Rasputin.
Well,
I'll call him
no,
Raz.
everyone calls him Raz.
Ruler of Kakoween. Anyways,
We did it, boys. We have it. His name is
Uh,
Rasputin.
He
We've
was
got
like
him.
a Jeet.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got him.
so he arrives. The general steps on with Raz, and Rose
Mhm.
gives a big smile and settles two of the stones on the ground, and immediately runs up and gives Vashta a hug.
Aww.
Who? Raz or Rose?
Rose.
Rosé.
Okay, just double checking on that because
Yeah.
that was
That's fair. That's
phrased
fair.
slightly. He just like puts arms of like, oh, well, I hear you're joining us.
Yeah.
He kind of like pats the back somewhat awkwardly.
Sorry, I'm just honestly, I'm not much of a mountain person. This seems a lot more my kind of place. I'm originally from the archipelagos.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
Oh.
Yeah. Do you know if that lake has somewhere I can fish? I really want to try it.
Apparently there are fish.
Fantastic. I'm gonna go make a boat.
Ask the big bird lady about anything though. Doesn't
Ask
hurt
the-
to.
Oh, right. I saw her coming in. Can I just walk in?
Can you just?
Walk in to go speak to the bird?
I think so.
All right.
It's
Nice to see
her
you
name's
again.
Monarch.
The monarch. Gotcha. Nice to see you, Lady Rosalind, and Purple
Rosalind
Man.
has already left the area. She kind of
Thanks.
scooted into the building to go look for something.
she looks at Esther and goes, I feel like I've met you, but you look a little bit different.
She's in a dress now.
Oh, sorry. Not you. Sure to Xenia. That was on my part. Sorry.
I'm sitting there going, Esther wasn't
Xenia as
there,
well.
what?"
Esther was really confused.
A little different, yeah.
I like the new hairstyle.
Changes.
Thanks.
But if you want to dye it red again, I have a lot of dye. My hair's not naturally red, but they call me Rose. I figured it was a good thing. Anyways, I'm gonna go talk to the bird. She runs off.
Alrighty.
I like her.
I'm not
She's
dyeing my hair.
energetic.
I like her.
Doesn't she
Yeah,
have
within
a crush
5
on
minutes,
Esther?
she runs back outside. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Doesn't she have a crush on you, Asha?
Mm-hmm.
Does she what?
She had a thing for you, I swear, last time we were at Citadel.
I have no idea what you're talking
mean-
about.
You are
Out
the
of
only one out
character.
of...
he was completely into it the whole time.
He was.
Yeah.
Just making sure the player remembers that.
Oh, I know that.
All
I
right.
mean, Ashta, I don't even know her, yet you were the only one she decided to hug.
She's
And the
affectionate
first person she went
and
to.
I think she knows me and Rosalind best, and Rosalind wasn't here
I think you're
immediately.
oblivious.
Rosalind was there, but she kind of scooted inside. So she was there initially, but not for the whole thing.
And I think
What?
you've got Aquarius on the mind and are seeing romance everywhere.
Nice try. Alright.
Alright. As you go inside, Rosalind, as Kyara, the red firebird, he kind of lands on your shoulder with
Well,
You get
at least
a ping
you're-
from the Fane. Says, "Hello.
Hello.
I need someone with hands."
All right. What do you need?
Can't get a jar open.
I found a really shiny thing and it fell between some rocks and I can't lift the rocks, or get my talents in between.
I can try. Show me where this is. I might have
Alright,
a little magic for it.
He directs you, and it's not hard to do. You take like 5 minutes with a stick. You could
Mage
get it done.
hand.
Yeah, mage hand even easier. You get it out. It's just a little trinket. Seems to be like a what's it called? Like a pin that you put in your lapel, but rather large.
All right.
Kind of like a
Hey,
brooch.
Yeah, like a brooch. Thank you. That was the word I was looking for.
You're welcome.
Did you want this set somewhere?
And he kind of shivers his wings and he goes, "I can carry it, but you seem like the most reasonable. I want to bring it to my nest and give it to my kid."
How sweet.
Aw.
Shut up.
No.
Your help is greatly appreciated, and I owe you a favor if you need something lit on fire. And he grabs the brooch and flies off.
I'll
Just-
keep that in mind.
that's nice. Shut your completely correct mouth.
And to those
That
outside,
bird.
within 5 minutes, you see Rose run out of the castle. Like she gets like you hear a whoop and a yell of "She let me says I can build a boat," and she keeps running.
Oh,
And she
she's
can
going
build
to
a
get
boat.
herself
And so like
killed.
gives like a half wave, like
Well,
She completely ignores her. You see her going towards a tree, and she pulls an axe out of her belt.
Ashta, why don't you go help her?
with what she seems. Oh my god, the tree's down already.
Yep. It's honestly, it's probably a sapling for giant standards,
Mhm.
but it's large, and you see her start to it, and one of Rosalind's soldiers chasing after, like, "Hey, let me help!"
I think she's good on her own.
But I think,
Fuck building a boat. Esther wants to sail a ship here.
God damn it, I knew it was
In
coming,
the Navy.
Yeah.
and I think that's where we're gonna leave it for today.
Oh wait, speaking of which,
Yes. No.
No, that's where we're leaving it for today.
Ending recording.
We went for an hour past usual. I'm sorry.
did we?
oh fuck yeah, we
Yeah,
half an
did.
hour.
Oh man.
Yeah. It's like.
No, we started actually like pretty close to on the hour.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah, we
just
did.
that's not late. That's we actually got here on time.
Yeah, it's been almost 4 hours. Is what I mean.
Yep. Okay.
Yikes.
All right. So, do I need to go ahead and end it? Are we done? End
I
I
Yes.
think for the most part, is there anything else we want to discuss right now?
Nope,
Okay,
we can
you're
discuss most everything else at that session.
All right.
Yeah.
Then, until next time.
Until next week.
Yay.
Till next
Thanks, Sarah.
Bye.